2 games left to complete your round 20 of this 2026 AFL season. The Sunday of Footy starts at the Gabba in Brisbane. Welcome along to Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Quentin Hull is my name. Take a seat with us at the Gabatoir in the sunshine. What a day. 1 o'clock start local time. Red Sherrin day footy and a huge challenge yet again for Josh Carr's Port Adelaide. In back-to-back weeks, they've had to test themselves against the measuring sticks of the competition. They're okay against the runaway ladder leaders Fremantle last week, eventually going down by 28 points. But if playing the minor premiers Asterix 1 week, how about playing the 2-time defending premiers on the road the following week? It's Brisbane. That is the challenge for Port today, and we'll be playing in footy conditions that, well, everyone would dream of. It's late or maybe low 20s. We'll get down to Zane Bojack in a moment, give us the exact temperature, but the track is fast, the weather is great, and the Brisbane Lions, you'd expect, well, no mercy would be shown today. They're a club that's building for another very solid tilt at the Premiership. They've got a host of aspirants playing in the VFL. They've not made any changes to selection. So even though Oscar Allen's fit, Kitty Coleman's fit, even Cody Curtin's fit as well, Dan Annabelle's back playing footy, Lincoln McCarthy, all of those guys stuck in the VFL. So the Lions go in unchanged after beating West Coast by 24 points last week. So they've won 6 in a row. And with the results of the week so far, Adelaide's loss, Melbourne's loss, it means that if Brisbane win today, they will skip a game clear of both the Crows and the Demons. They already have a superior percentage, but if they win today, they will be a game and percentage clear of 5th and 6th. So nuzzled into that top 4, and the double chance beckons yet again. Throughout the day, we'll also keep you up to date with the only other game, which is at Docklands between North Melbourne and St Kilda. The winner there most likely to go into 10th. If it's St Kilda, it definitely will go into 10th. If North win narrowly, the Blues might stay in 10th, but if North win handsomely, well, they'll displace Carlton in the top 10. So there's a bit to play out. Of course, you can hear both games live. If at any time you want to switch to the other, look for ABC Listen, toggle between the AFL buttons. We'll keep you up to date here, and if you are listening on ABC Radio, once we finish up at the Gabba, we'll take you to the closing stages of the Kangas and the Saints. How are you, Michael Price? My co-commentator, he came bursting into the box today, ladies and gentlemen, and he declared, Red Sherrin! Red Sherrin, what a day.
You've got to love it when the cherry appears. And Red Sherrin footy, not a cloud in the sky, magnificent conditions. Again, honoured to be in the best seat in the house. A couple of weeks ago, Brisbane absolutely obliterated Essendon, as you would expect. But then last week against the lower side in West Coast Eagles, not so good. You'd expect them to come, all cylinders firing. But danger game. Port Adelaide, not as bad as people think.
Of the 12 losses, 7 have been by 14 points or less.
And some good inclusions too. Sorry, Q.
You want some keen eyes across the game? Well, these two, we know, have got a great keen eye, no matter who's playing. But how about we pull out a Brisbane legend and a Port Adelaide legend for the Lions versus the Power? Hall of Famer, 3-time premiership star, Brownlow medalist, Jason Ackermanis in the maroon corner. Welcome.
G'day, Q. G'day, Pricey. Hey. Yeah, Maddie next to me. I wonder why.
Don't ruin my build-up.
Sorry.
I'm doing the boxing introductions in the maroon corner.
We'll get to the big corner, the big fellas in. But I always wonder, the ridiculous jumper that Port Adelaide have got. But can you ask this guy to my right, who coached and captained and played, how he feels when he watches his team? Because he actually watches more Lions games and calls Lions games because he lives up here than his old team in Port Adelaide.
See, here I was thinking I was going to do the big, the introduction for the boxers. They don't do half an introduction for in the teal corner, and it's not black and white today. They are playing in the alternate teal with the black V and back numbers. A man that, as much as he's he loves the Lions. He was one of those Fitzroy guys who didn't come here with the intake with Swoop and Northy's group. They took him to Adelaide, and he became a legend as a captain and coach at the famous Port Adelaide Football Club. Matthew Promise, welcome.
Good afternoon. How are we? What a beautiful day for football. Amazing. You're watching footy everywhere down south, and it looks terrible and cold.
Zane's going to be hot over there, the big fella.
But yeah, looking forward to today, Q. I've enjoyed watching what Kari's done with Port. It changed how they play a lot differently to Ken and focused pretty heavily on defence, the third best defence in the competition, but struggling to get the scoreboard ticking over. But yeah, they've been slandered a bit with injuries, but still been a pretty hard team to play against most of the year.
Did you ever think that Josh Carr would be a coach when you played with him?
No. But, I didn't think Dimmer would be.
Yes.
Adam Kingsley or, but
good point.
Funny where the the walk of life takes you.
But the irony, Q, is the guys that ended up coaching out of my era, I all expected them to coach.
Scott 1, Scott 2, Voss, McRae,
even
Lepper.
Yep, and there's others that have come through. But anyway.
Bounce is imminent, so Zane Bojack, sunscreen on, broad-brimmed hat. You're getting burnt out there?
Can I tell you, Q, this is the most beautiful weather you could possibly have for a game of football. 20 degrees, the surface is supreme, blue skies above. The most redundant thing we've got today, well, there's two of them actually, the lights that are on at the moment at the Gabba, and also my hoodie that I'm wearing because I've got on a plane for Canberra. It's going off in just a second. Can't wait for this game. Brisbane chasing 7 in a row with Charlie Cameron's 200th game for the Lions. And, of course, the Teal. They've been pretty handy the last couple of weeks, including last week's Freo.
Zane Bojack down on the boundary. If you want to get in touch, 0437 774 774. Michael Price with the opening bounce.
It's Draper versus Sweet. Draper got it out of the ruck and just put it on the big slipper. It dribbles along the ground towards half forward. It's taken there by Logan Evans. He's taken to ground by Lohman. Ball spills. Drew flies a handball towards Burgoyne. Off the deck, he kicks it towards centre wing. Intercepted by McCluggage for the Lions. He floats a sack towards half forward. Through the hands of Levi Ashcroft. Horn Francis gives the handball backwards. Now it's coming back to Drew. He goes long down the line to centre wing. There was a good mark by Dane Zorko. Got in front of Zadal. The two Zs.
It's 50.
And then Georgiades has put his foot on the landmine in the demilitarised zone.
Yeah, it was called to stand, and then Georgiades just wandered into that protected area. So Zaddo stands the mark 50. On the 50, and Zorko puts it into the pocket, looking for the lead there of Logan Morris. And Logan Evans puts a fist in over the boundary line, and we'll get a throw-in in the right forward pocket.
What's the margin today, Jason? I didn't get your tip.
26 points.
26, Matthew?
25.
Okay. So you're sort of half bracketing it in the danger game category.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can play, don't worry about that.
Boundary throw in. Draper against Sweet. Second time of asking. Draper got the tack, but at ground level, Horn Francis. His hat kick went to Draper, not 15. Claimed the mark. Play on, says the ump, and Zaddo tackles him. Good play. Zaddo picks up and clears for Port. A high hoping ball to the wing. 2-on-2 contest. Georgiades had a piece, couldn't mark. Rove by Gallop, and he does barrel it back into attack for Brisbane. Off the pack, Will Ashcroft rose front and centre and dribbles a 20-metre roller for the first goal of the game. The way, and you said it last week, Jason, how quick he goes from hand to boot, Will Ashcroft. And he's poked that through for the first goal, and we've played 2 minutes.
You need your your midfield's key in goals. Can I just say, that was the shortest 50, then it came back very hard to that one-on-one contest with Georgiades. He's such a tough matchup. Good front and square there. The ball came in, big barrel there from the big fella out of defence. But Lock Neal, he's starting on the bench. He's been their best midfielder. And Hugh McCluggage has got that role in front of him. Can you believe that?
What a luxury to have too. Imagine you start Lockie Neal on there, and then so there's no let up for Port midfielders. One comes off, and then Lockie Neal comes off the bench and goes straight in the middle.
But have a look in the middle too. Apparently pre-game, Chris Fagan told the host broadcast that Dunkley's going to run with Horn Francis.
Well, McCluggage is with him there as it's hacked out of the middle there. Bounces in front of Logan Morris inside of attacking 50 for the Lions. Jones couldn't pick it up. Outside the arc, Will Ashcroft shoots a handball backwards to Dunkley against Lockie Jones. He flicks it forward to Rayner. Rayner took the tackler on in Drew and then flicked the handball over to Will Ashcroft. He's belted out of it by Jace Burgoyne. Nicely done by Burgoyne over the boundary line. Next to where the arc meets the boundary at right half forward for the Lions will be a throw in.
Burgoyne v Ashcroft.
Hello.
Brisbane versus Port. How about it?
Another one. And there's some talent in those jeans. Dragons. They can run all day.
Back in the day, generation on. Boundary throw in right half forward for Brisbane, who got the early goal here. Tap towards the boundary line, and it's
come off Dunkley, I reckon.
Yeah.
Okay, off Dunkley's boot for an unintended out on the full, so Miles Bergman will take the free kick for Port at left half back. Runs in field, drives a right foot kick to the wing. Target is sweet, but Draper outmarked him. No, it took a sweet touch.
Right.
Ump says play on. Draper does with a hand pass out the back to Wilmot, who was there in support. Darcy Wilmot's chip pass grabbed by Levi Ashcroft, just forward of the wing. In the shadows of the members' stand on a gorgeous Sunday at the Gabba. Ashcroft Levi runs infield, got himself in trouble. Gave the problem by hand to his brother Will, got tackled. Hand pass turned over, straight to the hands of Whitlock, who's tackled by Wilmot. And we'll see a ball up. Left half back for Port, right half forward for Brisbane. Lions with the early goal after 4 minutes.
Draper grabs it out of the ruck, smothered by Burgoyne. Picked up there by Bergman. Now the handball from Drew comes out to Horne-Francis on the boundary line. He goes long down the line to half forward. Georgiadis did all the body work, got rid of Leicester. At the back of the pack, Marshall. Beautiful centering ball from Marshall. Under extreme pressure, the mark's taken by Bammett. Bammett inside attacking 50. Missed the target there in Watkins. Watkins butters up. Handball back to Jones, back to Watkins on the arc. He chips it inside 50. Now they've got half a chance. It's hooked by Durden to the goal square. Big pack of players as the Lions will bring it out. Handball under pressure goes to Bailey.
Breaks the tackle of Bergman at fullback. Hands it to McCluggage. McCluggage hand pass. Berry has a fumble at half back, but picks up for Brisbane, but turns over the handball. Georgiadis has it for Port in the middle of the ground. Hands it to Lockie Jones. Peter Watkins under pressure, gives the hand to Burgoyne. Has a fumble at half forward, but still picks it up. Hands it out wide to Durden, 60 from goal. Handed infield to Jones. Now the up and under entry. It's a hoper. It's a bomb. Berry gets underneath. So too does Zatto. Zatto's over the ball, but he's wrapped up by the tackle of Wilmot. And we'll see a ball up 30 from the goal. Port's attacking. They're kicking to the left of the radio dial to the school end in this first term.
Umpire throws it up really quickly. It's the ground now. Georgiadis can't pick it up. Getting there, Whitlock. He's over the ball. Harris Andrews worries him off it. And McCluggage picks it up. Handball to Levi Ashcroft off a step. It comes just short of centre wing. Logan Evans dribbled it, then picked it up. Handball 1-2 with Lockie Jones. Then he puts it inside 50. Sweet in the pocket. Outside of the right boot to the top of the square. The Lions have got all the numbers. And Zorko takes it at the top of the goal square.
Frenetic early. Port getting their hands on the ball and doing well. Good kick though.
Aggressive kick down the corridor. Dunkley marks running back with a flight at D50. Hands it off to Bailey. Hands to Will Ashcroft. Hands to Rain. A great tackle from Drew in the bullseye. Ball came free though. Play on. Cleaned up by Will Ashcroft. Kicks it to half forward. Gathered on the bounce by McCluggage. Wonderful, incisive kick inside 50 to the 200 gamer Charles Cameron.
Might get a song early. That was a 4-metre kick.
What about whose kick was out of the back 50s?
Zorko.
They were pinned. They had nothing on, and his vision and ability to put it in that little space, that's what
He loves those kicks too. And when he gets them, they just look at that ball move.
Yep.
So it is game 273 in the career of Charlie Cameron, but Brisbane has been where he has made his reputation, and it's his 200th game in Lions colours today. From 45, Charlie Cameron hits the post on the right-hand side. And John Denver goes back to the green room. 1-1-7 yet to score. No John Denver's yet on this Sunday.
He had his finger on whoever.
He was ready to call to the stage.
So Logan Evans wanders out of the goal square to the right back pocket and hoists a big one towards the outer wing. Darcy Ford at the back of the pack. Great spoil, front and square. Will Ashcroft lowers the eyes, hits Lohman in the pocket, 25 metres out. He'll be close to the boundary line. He's facing inboard, but he can do either around the corner or a drop punt, Kyle Lohman. Acker?
Yes, he can. He'll go around the corner on this one. I'm not sure he was the intended target, but that said, he is having a purple patch. So the last 5 weeks, he has kicked multiple goals every single week. He's back in top form.
12 goals in 3 weeks, and it's Lohman curls it around. He's got another one. Second goal for the Lions, looking good on home turf. 2-1-13. Port yet to score. Nearly 8 minutes gone to the first term. Zane Bojak's on the boundary.
Well, it's such a nice day here at the Gabba. Why wouldn't both coaches want to be on the benches enjoying this weather? Josh Carr sitting back on the back bench, whereas Chris Fagan's got the headset on and he's standing up at the front. But wonderful day here for footy, and I'm sure Josh is hoping that they can be a little bit more efficient down back with the Lions kicking those opening goals.
I reckon Chris, being Tasmanian never gets out of him. He'd be like, how good is this weather? Give me some sun. Oh, he looks good. What about that goal? Kai Lohmann last year, I think I mentioned how injured he was, but he has been the unknown and also just the guy who stepped up this year to take a good 35-plus goals.
So that's now a career best for him.
Correct.
He had 20 last year. 2 years ago, he kicked 36, and that's now 37 and a best yearly return for Kyle Lohmann with games to come. Centre stoppage. Brisbane eventually get the clearance. Rayner picks up under pressure. Hand pass, though, swooped on by Zaddo, who's wrapped up by the tackle of Bailey. So it's a neutral. Still in the centre square. Closer to Brisbane's half forward than Port's. Tossed in the air. Sweet pumps down to Wines. Couldn't gather. Sweet jumps over the top of it. Hard ball to win. Bailey kicks off the ground. Levi Ashcroft hands it out the back to Fletcher. Give it to Zorko in the middle of the ground. High tumbler inside 50. Hipwood meets it. Can't mark. Bailey rose for Brisbane. Snaps at the goal mouth. Cameron there. Hassled off it by the defence of Lai. Ball kicked by Aliir to the pocket, and then he kicks it off the ground, Aliir. And luckily for him, Berry arrives to run it out because it had gone beyond the arc. So instead of a last disposal, Berry was able to get a hand on it. And it's a throw-in on attacking 50 for Brisbane.
Their defence is under the pump. This is not good when it's a hot day like this.
6 inside 50s, 3 scoring shots for Brisbane at this stage. It's a good percentage. Throw in across half forward into the hands of Fletcher. He skies a ball towards the pocket. Aliir had the set, but Charlie Cameron, where did he come from? Double grabber, have they paid it?
They should, yeah.
They certainly have. Well, Aliir had the box seat there, and Charlie basically snuck around him, took the first grab, batted it to himself. He's 35 metres out. He's backsides to the boundary as he faces back inboard. Just a little bit further out from where Lohmann scored the second goal for the Lions.
Nearly too far, I reckon, for these snaps. That's always been. Anything over 25 metres, I think you're running in danger here.
He plays on, does Charlie, hooks this one around, and it's gone right of the goalpost and fisted through for a behind. 14 plays, Port yet to score, 10.5 gone first term.
Zane on the boundary.
Yeah, Logan Evans has had to go down the race queue. He's got a problem with his left ankle.
Lockie Jones long with a kick in. Beyond the pack on the wing. Berry meets it for Port. Tackled by Answorth. And his handball, is it a handball? No, it's a fumble. Not deemed last disposal. Out of play for a boundary throw in.
They were out there in 2Q. If they had got that one through, they were one-on-ones ahead for Port. So looking dangerous just then.
Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus with you for Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Fort in ruck against Sweet. Taps it boundary side and rolls back over the paint harmlessly.
I just had to say to you, Josh Lay, he's had a pretty good season, come from nowhere, but he's got the job on Charlie Cameron, and he's taking him nice and deep, playing the last defender. He'd be a nervous boy all day, Acker, down there.
Oh, yes.
You'll learn something
Butt
today
cheeks would be tight.
about how to play. Sweet taps down to Wines, gives back to Sweet. Port with the clearance on the wing. Hands it to Drew, back to Wines. All in tight. Now a rush kick to half forward. Not much good from the veteran. Met by Lester of Brisbane, who torps at 60 metres from half back to half forward. Hipwood underneath, can't mark as he was harassed by Jones. Rode by young O'Brien. Go back to Jones. His hand pass doesn't create much. Put Hon Francis under pressure. O'Brien has to jump back in to neutralise it. And the ump will come in to ball it up on D50 for Port, left half forward for Brisbane.
So they look on the Brisbane Lions here as it comes off hands to Will Ashcroft inside 50. Eric Hipwood got in front of Zirk Thatcher and took the mark. The big outstretched arms of Eric, 30 metres out, angled to the left.
That was some mark, Matty Primus. And
it was, wasn't
one
it?
that he just would never used to take. It could have been a free kick, though. He was all over him, his defender. But that's what he needed. That's what he needs. And he needs to go back and kick it because he's such a talent. He's been in the game long enough now.
Well, last week they got Port's backline got smashed by Fremantle's tools, but it's been the smalls to start today. But there was a good mark there, and they're definitely undersized in that area.
He starts his run up from the arc, does Hipwood. Releases the ball from 35. He's pulled it wildly across the face of goal. It just goes in for a behind, wasted opportunity. 15 plays, nothing with 12 and a half minutes gone to the first quarter.
Book him in with Acker on Monday.
Never looked like it running in.
I have had a chat.
Terrible
Can I say I've had the chat to Chris Fagan? He said, not in the season. When it's finished, you're in.
Jones with a long inbound. It's marked by Vicentini. Edge of the centre square. Kicks to right half forward. Giorgiades marks. Has a bounce on 60. Runs to 52. 3 touches and a shot, but it's near side for a miss. That was a great chain from the inbound from
That's
Port.
what they wanted to do last time, I reckon, Q.
Yeah, but their first scores are behind. 2-3 to 1 point through 13 minutes. Quick inboard from the Lions, and Dunkley takes the mark at right half back.
He retreats back to Harris Andrews in between half back and the pocket. Now Andrews just saunters up the lane. That's a really good contested effort from Horn Francis in front of Dunkley to bring the ball to ground. They sweep it through hands now with Ollie Wines inside 50. Harris Andrews advantaged by the 2-on-1. Paul Whitlock couldn't get anywhere near it, so he takes the mark, sweeps a handball, puts Gallup under pressure. He just extracts it. Well done by Vicentini. Went through the pack, took the ball, shot a speculating handball inside 50, picked up by Bailey for Brisbane. Back to Harris Andrews, smothered there by Joe Berry, who follows the ball over the boundary line next to the behind post. There should be a throw in. No, it's actually rushed through for a behind, near side of that behind post. So Port with 2 behinds, the Lions 15.
Josh can't be happy with that. Being able to pin him in and get it back and get another shot on goal.
Fletcher able to stroll out of the goal square easily. Gains about 15 metres before a long kick to the wing and an uncontested mark to Hipwood. Make it just defensive side of the wing for Brisbane. Kicks to the end of the edge of the centre square on the head of Rayner. Was spoiled away by the Port defence. Now in the hands of Drew on the wing for Port. Hands it to Bammett. Fell over, got high contact. They take the advantage, do they? Yeah, Burgoyne says play on. He hands it back to Bammett in the end, who swings onto his left boot, kicks inside 50, an errant entry. Fought back there to mark for Brisbane. Chips it to centre half back to Will Ashcroft. Paid a mark, although I don't think it was the required. He plays on anyway. Chips to Jimmy Tunstall. Takes the mark at right half back. Re-signed a contract during the week as well, Tunstall. Short pass to Leicester. Marks gives back by hand to Tunstall. Kicked to half forward. It was on the head of Rayner. Had it fisted away from him. He's down and hurt. Ump says play on. Tunstall roves. He's on 50. Kicks to the goal mouth, and Bailey nudges Lie under the ball to mark at the top of the goal square.
That in our day, that was a free kick every day of the week, but nice double hands straight in the middle of the back. It was coming over anyway. It was a bullet kick from Tunstall. But and poor Cam Rayner. He's got the knee in the back. That's the worst one.
The kick that just sets up and you know someone's going to come hard and make you earn it.
It really did look like Bailey pushed Lie in the back. But
it did, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a push every day of the week.
Anyway, he's point blank range, Zach Bailey. Oh, dear.
Wow.
He did get it just. It slewed off the side of the boot, and I thought, Q, how could you do it to him? But no, Bailey kicks the goal. Brisbane 3-3-21. Port 2 behinds, 16 minutes played. On the SMS, 0437 774 774. Marg likes you. She says, Jason Ackermanis made my footy week again. Go Lions from Marg in South Australia.
I love Marg. Love South Australia too.
0437 774 774. Zane on the boundary.
And Evans has re-emerged, Q, and I don't know whether he's had it strapped or whether he's had an injection, but he's right to go. He's been testing that ankle on the boundary line, and I think they're deciding whether or not he's going to come back on this quarter.
The magic sponge. Nothing worse than doing your ankle earlier in the game too. But and they hang around for a long time, Matty, like 210 days at least, and you've got to play on them every week, so that just drags it out. But that's good news. You don't want to lose a man that early if you're Port.
So we're back into the middle of the Gabba. Draper gets up there against Sweet, puts it forward. Lockie Neal on the field, gets there first, and he's tackled, and now the ball's stuck underneath. Geez, that's stiff. I reckon Horn Francis, he fell on the ball, but they tackled him, so free kick for holding it. Handball back to Zorko, inside 50. Off hands, the ball's loose in the goal square. Lockie Jones picks it up for Port. He extracts it towards centre wing, outer side. Good contest from Whitlock. Front and square, Horn Francis at ground level. Does well to pick it up and then measures a lovely pass to hit Durden, the former Blue. Just short of centre wing on the Stanley Street side, outer wing.
Former Blue wearing teal with red boots.
Oh, thank you.
He's had an amazing season.
Durden, good kick to the middle of the ground. Vicentini marks, hands to Horn Francis. Bullet entry, hits the chest of the presenting marshal 45 from goal.
That is
See why Tate
that's
wants
what
to tag Horn Francis, doesn't he? Every time the ball's in his hands, something happens good for Port Adelaide, doesn't it?
Beautiful user. But can I just ask, Marshall who's going for this goal from about 50. He actually started before the game with that. Looks like he's got some kind of bandage around his head. That's not for his hair. That is, he must have a cut.
Must have a cut last week, and they've started with it rather than come off with the
I
blood
haven't
rule.
seen that before.
No angle to speak of, but the man on the mark, 45 out. So Todd Marshall will have to clear 50 here for Port's first goal. Right foot, good strike, and the red Sharon sails through for the first Port major of the day. Brisbane 3-3-21. Port Adelaide 1-2-8. The Lions lead by 13 points. We've travelled 18 minutes. You're listening to Sunday Footy at the Gabba. I'm Quentin Hull with Michael Price calling the action. And your experts, greats from both clubs, Jason Ackermanis and Matthew Primus.
Well, there was a real good contest when it came out of Brisbane's back 50. I think Whitlock brought the ball to ground, and previously they hadn't been able to get a good enough contest, or they'd been outmarked by Harris Andrews and their defence set up. But a good contest there, then the ball in Horn Francis' hands, and a couple of beautiful kicks and a lead inside 50, and Marshall is a beautiful kick for a tall fella, and certainly made him pay.
On a day like today, but coming back through the centre, I was asked on 5AA during I think it was Friday night about this game. I said if they have
dabbling with the enemy, Jason?
Well, just having, a chin wag.
You didn't get a leave pass for that.
No, I didn't. I should have asked, but anyway. I did get some Japanese plum wine for just mentioning it.
Well, now you're getting a yellow card for an editorial breach.
That's it. Don't make
Keep going, Acker.
The clearance comes out for the Brisbane Lions. Draper grabbed it out of the ruck, promoted it forward with the big slipper, and it's just held up under a pack. That's the fourth centre ball up clearance in a row for Brisbane. Port have yet to bother the score sheet with that one. Off hands of Draper. Bailey's kick smothered. Lockie Jones gets there yet again for Port. Gives it back to Marays and then back to Drew. He dribbles it there, and it was to Bammett who slipped over it. It fell out of his hands over the boundary line. The crowd wanted insufficient intent, but geez, that would have been stiff. So it's going to be a throw in on this Vulture Street side between wing and right half forward for Brisbane.
It doesn't get a lot of sun there, Pricey, this time of year.
Boundary throw in. From the shade into the sun. Visentini taps down Burgoyne roves. Rush kick from half back to the wing for Port. Whitlock had his arm chopped. Free kick, play on. Marays swooped on it. Hands it on to Berry. Kicks it to an open 50 for Port. First to meet it is Georgiades. Bumped Ainsworth but couldn't gather the ball. Berry, that's Jarrett of Brisbane there to gather the football. Hands it through Andrews then to Gallop in the pocket. Clearing kick for Brisbane to the wing. Good job from Young. O'Brien against a couple to make a contest. Brings the ball to ground level. Horn Francis arrives to pick up. Hand pass dropped by Byrne-Jones. Brisbane's ball. Lyman with a hand pass to Cameron. Cameron by hand to Bailey. He lost it under pressure from Burgoyne and Lockie Jones. Jones kicks it to the wing. Taken by Watkins. And Watkins shorts it to, again, the man in teal with the red boots, the former blue.
So Jones is
That's Durden.
So it was Byrne-Jones centres the ball over here to Miles Bergman in front of the schools. Aaliyah has come from half back to half forward to accept barely the required distance pass. Now he goes further left, finds Marays. He's 52 from goal. Now he sees the lead, spots it, and that's a delightful little pop-up pass.
7 metres.
And again, but it's barely the required distance. Ty Gallop is asking the question of the umpire because Mitch Georgiades has come back and taken the mark. 45-degree angle, not outside this man's capabilities.
Let's go keep an eye on Logan Morris. He just got a friendly fire, I think, in a contest down here. He wasn't overly well, but he's just allowed Aaliyah to run up there, who sort of set up this passage of play. So just keep an eye on him.
So Georgiades, a welcome in for Port Adelaide this week. 37 goals on the season. Will strike this from the paint of 50. That's a lovely looking kick. Straight off the boot, straight through the middle. Port get their second goal and reduce the margin to 7 points. 3-3-21 to Port 2-2-14. And we played just on 22 minutes of the first quarter on ABC Sport on a Sunday afternoon.
I did say that they come back through the middle and they'll be able to expose and try and get Brisbane's defence one-on-one and looking at something else. But they just basketballed that around, and then obviously not a long kick cue, that one.
Zane on the boundary.
Yeah, I think they're going to be down a man. Logan Evans went out, Q. He had a run around for about 2 minutes, came back off, took his head. They've gone down into the dressing room again, but I can't see him coming back.
So what was that injury again?
Left ankle. He just couldn't put any weight on it. He looked like he was okay initially, but he just came back off and said, I can't do it.
Thanks, Zane.
That's not good news. If it's more and you've already had anaesthetic, that's bad. Anyway, if they're down one, that's not much fun either, Q.
7 points to lead to Brisbane. Kicked the first 3 goals. Port have kicked the next 2. Centre stoppage. Jumped on by Bergman of Port. Handpass doesn't create much. Moraes has a go. Shrugged off it. But Wise wins it. Hands it to Bergman. Kicked a half forward to Scrubber. Ricochets to Brisbane's Fletcher. And the Lions have got it. Hands it off to Fort. Fort to Zorko. Brilliant kick to the bullseye. Left boot hits Lohman. Plays on. Kicks to full forward. 2-on-2. Draper got a big piece of a grab. Couldn't mark, but he plays right over the big fella. Tackled off it by Lockie Jones. Burn-Jones then swoops on it for Port. Hands it to half back. Moraes gathers. Hands it on to Lie towards Horn-Francis, and they get away with it, Port, from left half back towards half forward. Kick on the head of Vicentini. Punched away by Andrews. Out of play. Boundary thrown at left half forward for Port. And Matt, looks like they've settled after being jumped by the Premiers.
Perfect word. I was just about to mention that they have settled. They're winning some contests in their back line. They put Bergman a spare behind the ball to sort of solidify and be able to get the ball out of there a little bit quicker.
In the midfield there.
Yeah, they've settled down really well.
So the umpire throws in left half forward for Port Adelaide off the hands of Sweet. Down there towards Ollie Wines on ground level, tackled by Neal. Ball spills back to Sweet, and he taps it back into the path of Zaddo, but he's tackled as well, so it's turnover. Brisbane Lions picked up there by McLuggage. He tried to dribble a kick in the Rayner direction. It went over the boundary line right in front of the ABC Sport commentary box, so it's a last disposal free kick. It'll go to Lockie Jones. He chips it forward. Now it's with Lai.
Sorry, Price, they love to hang on to the ball and get numbers forward, and that allows them to pin the ball in.
Lai on centre wing. It's a high ball inside 50. Big pack for... Georgiadis was ungainly, to say the least. He broke the pack open, but nothing doing, said the umpire. Zaddo got the ball back outside 50, through hands to Horn-Francis. Sizzling pass. That's a great kick into the hands there of young Whitlock. And he takes it 40 metres out, and it's a tight angle to the left.
10 touches, Horn-Francis now, and probably the dominant player on the ground. Not often you see Dunkley get beaten, want to run with roll, but he's certainly getting a lot of the ball and some beautiful kicks inside 50. I'm
not sure he's going one-on-one with him. He looks like he is. They're just sort of loosely looking after him, but he is dominating at the moment.
So Jack Whitlock, the 20-year-old, 19 goals on the season. Big future for this kid. Comes inside 50. As soon as you give that to him, I could have kicked it worse, no better than that, I wouldn't have thought anyway. It came off hands, went through for a rush behind. I'm never doing that again to the kid. 21, plays 15.
There's nothing of him, is there?
He looks like he should be in the high jump at the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Good call, Q.
He will fill out, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wilmot, very short kick.
They don't pay that.
Zorko, he said play on, Anyway, Zorko is able to slot the ball to Rayner. Rayner takes the mark and settles.
They've got a real good zone, Port Adelaide. They're trying to take away those short kicks.
And the kick turned over, 16-16. Rayner's kicked it to Wines, who plays for Port, of course. The veteran jams it back into attack for Port Adelaide. Wilmot leaves his man to get to the front of the pack. Takes a good defender's mark for the Lions. Kicks to Levi Ashcroft. Marks and hands to Neal. Runs through defensive 50. Kicks wide to the half-back flank. Hipwood takes the mark for Brisbane, but has to hold up. That structure behind the ball's holding up for Port, Matt.
Yeah, it's just a really good zone, soft zone. They're slowing them down, and good kicks is the only way for them to really get through.
Yeah, Hipwood found Berry kick, half volley by Zorko, gave by hand to Ashcroft, tackled on 50, ball spills free, and then Morris has to play tackler on Bergman to lock it up, and it will be a ball up on attacking 50 for Brisbane.
So umpire throws it up really quickly. It's very congested. Horn-Francis is taken to ground by McLuggage. Ball spills out. Answorth inside 50. Hipwood goes back with the one hand. Couldn't pick it up. Aaliyah did. Skies a return kick. Good contest. That is a ripping mark. Young Bammett, the mid-season recruit, came in with Jimmy Tunstall. Bammett went with the flight of the ball and took a beauty. He flares the ball out to the right to find Zirk Thatcher. What's the world record for hyphens in one team?
I was going to say that. They've got a few today.
You blokes have never called an NRL game with the Warriors.
I was going to say, it's not that much.
Well, I think I called a Warriors NRL game that had 8 of them. There's only 3 going around for Port today.
Nothing.
Kick towards the wing. Here's Zaddo. And there's a Z in the game with one of the Z's is a hyphen. Zaddo lost it. Lions have got the ball. Will Ashcroft hands it infield to Dunkley. Hoofs the right boot into attack for the Lions. Hit with the target. Got to the front. Spoiled away by the defensive Zerk Thatcher. Roving is McCluggage from Brisbane. Tackle, but got a hand pass to Berry. Jared Berry. Snap on goal. Oh, and Lear had a fumble. And the fumble went straight to Morris. Morris at the top of the goal square. Well, he snapped it through, but did it take a touch? There'll be a committee before we get the decision here.
Yeah, it looks like a Lear. That left hand just got out. Very lucky to get away with that. Lear dropped pretty much a sitter. Logan Morris, who hasn't been cited yet, got that one. I think you'll find these guys will reverse that. They look pretty confident.
Well, it's lucky for Lear, who, of course, played a lot of junior representative football in Queensland.
Played for the Aspley Hornets as well.
Yeah, there's the fingers.
And Lear's got out of that after he dropped the mark he should have taken. He has got a touch on that, so it's a point. Brisbane 3-4. Lead Port 2-3. We've played 28 minutes in gorgeous sunshine at the Gabba on Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
Just under 30 seconds left, so they want to just hold this up here, Port, if they can. They don't want to get scored against.
Zed Jones launches it towards the outer wing. Sweet belted it forward. About 15 metres forward, in fact. It goes over the boundary line, just where the arc meets the boundary at left half forward for Brisbane. Leading by 7 points late in this first term. And again, every player on the field is in that pocket on the outer side of the ground. Sweet couldn't quite take it. Lockneil picked it up for Brisbane. Handball Dunkley sweeping over to Will Ashcroft. Sells a dummy and then kicks it into the pocket looking for Hipwood. Double grabber spoiled away by Miles Bergman over the boundary line. Good finish to the first quarter. And it is the Brisbane Lions with a 7-point lead. 3-4-22 to Port Adelaide 2-3-15. Your goal scorers for Brisbane: Kai Lohman's got 1, Will Ashcroft's got 1, Zach Bailey's got 1, and for Port Adelaide, Todd Marshall with 1, Mitch Georgiades with the other.
Thank you for that, Michael. And Jason, just for those playing along at home, yes, I've just done a quick list of the regular hyphens for the Warriors. So as much as we have Horn Francis, Zerk Thatcher, and also Burn Jones today. We don't have Wadaneza, Lesniak, Harris, Tavita, Fisher, Harris, Nickel, Klukstad, Tuivasa, Sheck. And then there's a few others.
I bet you there is.
Evil. If those guys can't spell, fair dinkum. They've got the alphabet in their name. They've got 2 of them.
Well, quite often we'll go with DWZ, RTSC and KJFH.
Oh, that's smart.
So anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you've got a hyphen story for us or something more sensible about the football, 0437 774 774 is the text message number. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0437 774 774. This is the first of 2 games we're bringing you on ABC Sport today, which will complete round 20 at 3:15 Eastern time, so 2:45 in South Australia. It's North Melbourne taking on St Kilda at Docklands, and the scenario there: Saints win, they're back inside the top 10. North win by a decent enough margin, they're probably inside the top 10. If North have a close squeak and get home, Carlton will probably stay 10th, but any win for St Kilda gets them into that last wild card spot on the ladder at the end of round 20. By the way, speaking of the NRL, 2 games today. First of them is still 20 minutes away. We'll keep you up to date here. St George Illawarra taking on Gold Coast. That to be followed by Manly Warringah against Cronulla Sutherland. If you want to hear them, as ever, you can make your choice on ABC Listen. The NRL is on the green button there. Quarter time at the Gabba, and it's Brisbane leading Port Adelaide by 7 points on Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
Dodging on the blind side.
In the snow, I've always been told if you start stumbling, grumbling or mumbling, ask for help.
Ryan HG.
You've only got to almost walk past a table that's got a beer on it. You become,
legless.
Ryan HG on ABC Listen.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Rode by Gallop, and he does barrel it back into attack for Brisbane. Off the pack, Will Ashcroft rose front and centre and dribbles a 20-metre roller for the first goal of the game.
Darcy Ford at the back of the pack. Great spoil, front and square. Will Ashcroft lowers the eyes, hits Lohman in the pocket, 25 metres out. Whoman curls it around. He's got another one. Second goal for the Lions, looking good on home turf.
Pon Francis, bullet entry, hits the chest of the presenting Marshall. 45 from goal. Todd Marshall will have to clear 50 here for Port's first goal. Right foot, good strike, and the Red Sharon sails through for the first Port major of the day.
Murray's, he's 52 from goal. Now he sees the lead, spots it, and that's a delightful little pop-up pass. And again, but it's barely the required distance. Ty Gallop is asking the question of the umpire because Mitch Georgiadis has come back and taken the mark. Will strike this from the paint of 50. That's a lovely looking kick. Straight off the boot, straight through the middle. Port get their second goal.
I think they're going to be down a man. Logan Evans went out. He had to run around for about 2 minutes, came back off, took his head. They've gone down into the dressing room again, but I can't see him coming back.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
The sounds of the first quarter at the Gabba. Quentin Hull's my name. It's Sunday Footy on ABC Sport. Brisbane leads Port Adelaide by 7 points at quarter time. The Lions 3-4-22 to Port's 2-3-15. Brisbane kicking the first 3 goals, and then Port kicked the next 2 in the game. So the power has steadied. I fear I've opened a can of worms here on the SMS 0437 774 774. Marcus at Lake Toba texts, isn't Ackermanis hyphened?
What
He's texted AKKA-MANS.
Mate, just Google it up, mate.
He's having a joke, Jason.
Oh, is he? Oh.
We'll get your expert thoughts with Matt Primus in a moment, but Zane Bojak's got news from the benches.
Well, it's like Lazarus the triple bypass queue. They're having another go with Logan Evans. He emerged just before you guys came back from the highlights, and he's having another go. He's trying to put weight on it. I think they're going to try and see if he can go out there again, but he hasn't got a lot of faith in it, but they're asking him to have another crack.
Thanks, Zano.
Put more in there. That's what I suspect.
You've got to keep moving too with ankles, don't you?
Yes, you've got to keep them warm.
Yeah, slow down. They seize up.
It's horrible.
Righto, Acker-Manis and Primus, what have we got from the first term?
We've got a really good contest. It looked like Brisbane were going to blow them out of the water early. They look too dynamic. The amount of goal kickers they have, that's the thing that's going to trouble Port Adelaide. I think it's 9 or 10 individual goal kickers they normally average every game. But as we mentioned through that call, Port settled. They got their hands on the ball a little bit more. They were able to own the ball and had some really good looks inside 50s. A couple of beautiful set shots, which they rely on that the most in the competition to kick their goals from set shots. So that's something to keep an eye on for the game. But yeah, look, a good balance, and you have to stay in the game early because Brisbane do blow teams away early, and they settled well, and it's a good game on our hands.
I think Josh Carr will be asking a little bit more in the centre square clearances. They got absolutely 4-1, so they want to just sort of at least start to average that out and try and win a couple, because when they do, I mean, they're getting most of their goals from transition from the back half. That's been better. You've got to watch out because Brisbane can score quickly, and they've just been a little bit cleaner in that back half of that quarter queue, and I think that's helped them get their game going. And like Matty's saying, like the way that they want to play and how they go and they chip it around and they hold on to it, they're doing it very well. So far so good if you're a Port fan, but Brisbane, I think they'll make a couple of tweaks here and they'll be able to. They want to get more scores, particularly from their midfielders.
G'day to Simon at York Peninsula. He's a regular texter. He says, enjoying the call, always get a laugh and smile when the Matt and Acker show's on at the Gabba. It's very fun as a neutral footy fan. Thank you. 0437 774 774. Keep your messages coming.
Isn't the York Peninsula in South Australia?
That's
doesn't he? But doesn't? Oh, he's a neutral anyway.
Oh no. Well, he's a neutral footy fan.
Oh right.
Either not going for one or the other today. Okay.
So back in the middle, Fort versus Sweet. It went underneath the pack. Jason Horne-Francis was the one who got there first, held up, and will throw it up beside the centre circles this time. Off hands, Bailey for Brisbane. Inside 50. Logan Morris goes back with the one arm, but it's a free kick and it'll go to Lai.
That's a good win for the young fella. He's been under the pump, playing on.
Yes, Charlie, give him a shove
down there.
Yeah, Charlie just trying to give some room there for Logan Morris and nothing happening. It's kicked out to left half back. And once again, Aaliyah comes up to the arc. So they're just, again, that Matty Primus retaining possession. Kick just short of centre wing. It's with Lai again.
There he goes long.
Lai kick towards the wing. Wilmot jumps in front to spoil for Brisbane, rode by McCluggage. Given to by hand to Wilmot. Kick semi-smothered, but Bailey bashes it from the wing to half forward. One-on-one between Lohmann and Burne-Jones. Lohmann wins the ball. Burne-Jones gave good pressure though, and Lohmann turns over the handball. Gave it to Horne-Francis, kicked it straight to McCluggage. Brisbane's ball on the wing, kicks back to half forward. Tunstall grabs it. Markson holds up for a moment, 60 from goal. Now spots an option in the pocket. I don't know what he was kicking it to, missed everyone. Lai picks up for Port. In the left back pocket for the Power. Kicks the left half back. Whitlock in a battle against a couple. The Port youngster did well to bring it to ground level. Won his own crumb. Great play. Hands it to Drew. Hands it onto the wing for Horne-Francis. Outside of the boot kick. No, didn't create much. Andrews won it for Brisbane. Great hand pass to Zorko. Zorko kicks to half forward. McCluggage marks. Hands to McKenna. McKenna shoots. And Hipwood has a juggle beyond the scoring line. It was going through for a point anyway. But had Hipwood clunked it first time, it would have been a mark on the goal line. As it is, it's a point, and Brisbane lead by 8.
What was that? There was 3-on-1 over there. And one that... Who was that did that?
Young Whitlock.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a great contest.
Logan Evans back on the field, and he takes it out of the goal square and kicks it short of centre wing. There's a bit of body work done there by Ty Gallop, and he took the mark, put it inside 50, dropped it on a dime in front of the face of Logan Morris, but had to do a fair bit of strong handwork to beat young Lai there. Took the mark, 40 out, slight angle to the right.
Now, our man in York Peninsula is he's a good man, Simon, because he texts, I'm a lifelong Carlton supporter, Akka. So he's a neutral for this game.
He's always disappointed.
And going for North to win by about 3 points today. So Carlton stay in the 10.
Oh, they'll be all right, Carlton.
So Logan Morris has started his run up from inside the centre square. 53 goals, 20 last year. 44 goals, 36 so far this year. He launches a beauty, but it hits the post 2/3 of the way up, one behind. 24 plays 15, 9-point margin, the Lions lead.
He's limping a bit too, Logan. I'm not sure what happened.
Good match up that one via Lear. He wants to lead to the ball, or Lear wants to drop off and air assist. A good one to keep an eye on.
Lockie Jones, he overhits the kick. He ran beyond the square, kicked it over the head of Zerk Thatcher, so it bounces out of play. And the free kick to be taken by Hipwood for Brisbane, 70 out at left half forward. So similar to last week at Adelaide Oval, the Power very competitive early against a highly ranked opponent. Kick from Hipwood to a contest. Top of the goal square, Horne-Francis does the exit for the Power. Whacks it on his boot. Bammett Roves got taken high. No free kick. Oh, that was tough. Picked up by Will Ashcroft, the Brisbane. It was Levi, in fact. Hands it out the back to Zorko. Given to Hipwood. He's tackled. Holding the ball. Yep, they pay that one. Corey Durden with the tackle. And he'll take the free kick for Port at right half back. The Lions lead by 9 points early second term.
He took off across the arc, and dangerous kick, but nicely delivered to Alia at the true centre half back position.
Right here.
Oh, he's got Bergman. Takes it just adjacent to the centre circles. Inside 50. Oh, big fly at the back. Whitlock did beautifully again. Read it nicely and took the mark basically on his chest. 25 out. Another angle to the left.
You have to do in it, Matty. You have to move it in that way to get... You saw the defenders of Brisbane running backwards. It's the worst position to be in.
Yeah, that switch kick to Alia, then back out to the other side of the wing, that's what opened up Brisbane's defenders, and they've got some leg speed in their front half, and that's a couple of times now they've nearly got out the back, and on that occasion it worked well.
So Whitlock lines up for the drop punt. Let's go from just inside 40 metres. This one to the left. So 2 golden opportunities for the youngster, but another behind for Port makes it an 8-point margin. 24 plays 16.
Short inbound. Fletcher marks in the pocket. Hands it to Zorko. Tackled from behind. Great pressure from Zatto. Zorko's hand pass taken by Georgiades. 40 from goal. Hands it back to Zatto. High right foot snap on goal. Comes down on the goal line, but Gallop is there to punch it away. Out of play for a throw-in. And it's a similar theme, Port fans. You can be proud of the way the team's battling here. They are certainly in the fight early at the Gabba, having conceded the first 3 goals.
Great chase down tackle from Zatto. Whoa, what a ripper.
8 points, the lead to Brisbane. 5 minutes, second term. Lions in attack, boundary throw in, bobbles around. Fort's got it, Sweet tackles him. Fort got rid of it, McCluggage. He puts it on his boot. Whacks it clear of defence. Hipwood takes it a left half back on the bounce. Hand passes to Bailey near the boundary. Hands it back to Levi Ashcroft. Given back to Bailey in tight. Now he gets the kick on it. Right boot high to the wing. 2-on-2 contest. Alia got the first touch. Couldn't control the mark. Neil at ground level for Brisbane. He's hassled as he got a hand pass away. Levi Ashcroft kicks it off the ground straight to Bergman on the wing. Infield kick on the 45, doesn't find a target, so Burgoyne has to make a contest of it. Gee, hard footy to win. Port win it. Marshall got a hand pass to Wines. Wines kicks to full forward on the head of Georgiades. He taps it down. Sweet tackle Zorko, but the lines eventually get clear. I think.
Hang on, there's a free kick that's going back, Q.
I think he played a throw.
That was after the ball was racing away. Was it a throw against Zork, was it?
Must have been.
So, the tackle.
Just waiting for the replay. I thought that was a good handball. Maybe not.
Or did he give some lip or a little elbow after he got rid of it?
Well, that's
it's Zork, so I don't want to be subjective, but it's a possibility.
Happened before, Q.
Yeah.
That is a gift, if that is the case.
So not sure of why, but Jordan Sweet has the shot. 30 out directly in front. And Sweet misses to the right.
Coach killer.
Yeah, it was a throw, Q.
It was a throw.
Got him and he didn't get his hand to it yet.
Okay.
Late call.
3-6 to 2-5. Brisbane lead by 7 points. 7 minutes second term.
Had 3 good looks, haven't they? The last
They got to get them against Brisbane at home.
Zorko comes out of the goal square, launches it short of centre wing. Good fly there from Evans. Could have been paid to Mark Tuacker. Bammett in the front position. Beautiful central kick finds Durden. Well done there from young Bammett. Got it onto the left foot, and that was measured delightfully to Durden, who's having some kind of season for Port Adelaide.
Just doing very well, Port. They're getting these turnovers. They're quickly moving it, and they're finding free men. And at the moment, particularly on kick-ins, they just always are going to get free. This is the worst time of the day to play here, where if you're going to the left or the right, but it's terrible with the sun in your eyes. Not easy out there.
So Durden with 28 goals in season 2026. Launches it from 45.
Finally.
That's a beautiful kick. Brings Port Adelaide to within a point. The Lions 3-6-24 to the Power 3-5-23. 8 minutes gone second term.
After missing some sitters too, Matty, that's the one they need. That steeled himself, and that's a beautiful kick for goal and a reward for effort.
So how have they turned it around? Lions 3-3 to 2 points after quarter of an hour. Port have kicked the next 3 goals in the game.
Yeah, turnovers.
I think you mentioned, Q, their heat and pressure has really got it, and they're onto the handball receives, and that's 3 or 4 times they've been able to chase them down and get holding the ball. So they're taking away that really well from them and getting some good territory and getting some great looks inside 50.
Well, they should be able to bring the heat today if they're playing at that colour at the Gabba. Because it looks like they've turned up to the wrong season in that strip.
Oh, boy.
But they have gone the teal, which, of course, is the colour of the Big Bash local team here. Centre stoppage. Will Ashcroft comes away for Brisbane. High kick inside 50. It's wide, and Lai makes a good contest to punch it away from Cameron. Out of play. Josh Lai, who made his debut in round 3. The extraordinary story. What was it? Born in Singapore, lived in China till he was 6 years of age.
Oh. How many passports does he have?
And picked up in the supplementary selection period before last season. Boundary throw in right half forward for Brisbane. Sweet taps down to Murray's. So it wasn't Murray's, it was Watkins. Hand pass doesn't create much. Ball still on attacking 50 for Brisbane, but Wines picks up for Port. Hands through Sweet to Burgoyne. Burgoyne's kick to the wing on the head of Vicentini, punched away by Gallup. Out of play for a throw in on the outer side. Sunday footy on ABC Sport, 9.5 second term. Brisbane 3-6-24. Port 3-5-23.
Bit clean at the moment, Port, and they're just finding their targets. Not the best kick, that one, but they have been really good around these stoppages.
Throw in out a wing in the bright sunshine here at the Gabba. Went over the top of 2 ruckmen in Sweet and Draper. It bounced back into the hands of Sweet, who had taken down. It was Horn Francis who got in there again. It's going to be balled up on the logo. Umpire throws it up. Draper against Sweet. Sweet got it down. McCluggage took it and then speculates a handball forward to Bailey. Came out of his hands, towed off the deck by Draper. Bounces in front there. Well done by O'Brien, who gathered, but equally well done tackling by the Lions, and it was Connor McKenna who got involved there. It's going to be pulled up 40 metres out from the Lions' goal.
Ruckman tangle, and Drew tries to crash through, but is tackled immediately. That's Evans. He's back out there. Logan Evans.
He's back.
My apologies. So another neutral. Sweet with the palm. Out the back, Watkins gives the hand pass to Burgoyne. Not a deep clearing kick. It was on the head of Bammett. Has it punched away from him. Out of play Oh, is there a last disposal here or a
No,
throw
it's
in?
close. I think it just snuck over the 50-metre area. They're a bit lucky there because he did good foot on.
It is going to be a throw in. Right half forward for the Lions. And the locals realise they better get behind their team. They haven't kicked a goal for a while. Nearly been a quarter of footy. Brisbane the first 3, Port the next 3. Evans tackled by Dunkley at the stoppage. Just got rid of it. Jared Berry crashes in for Brisbane. He's tackled by Bergman. Gee, it's a hard footy to win. It spews out. Zorko's near it. He's got Company and Visentini. Zorko, though, trips the light. Fantastic near the boundary. Wins the ball. Kicks it into attack. O'Brien tried to fist it clear for Port. Doesn't have to get it away from the contest. Now Watkins gathers. Hands to Burgoyne. Back to Watkins. Breaks a tackle or two. No, he ran out of room.
Still out there. Good.
He ran out. Boundary throw in. Right half forward for Brisbane. Left half back for Port. But they are bringing the heat, the power.
And they're getting it too. Like in the defence, they're just a bit of composure. It's been good to watch.
The Lions up by 10 inside 50s, 25-15, but it's 3 goals apiece and they only lead by a point. Throw in across half forward. Ashcroft again with the stoppage clearance, and he gets a dribbling kick inside 50. O'Brien for Port tracks it over the boundary line, though. Will be a throw in about 40 metres out in the right forward pocket for Brisbane.
Brisbane don't mind this, Pricey. They like it in their forward 50. They know they're going to generate shots eventually.
They've absolutely, I suppose, flooded the forward line there at throw in. It was a short throw in, Acca. It was taken into the arms of Sweet. He lets go a kick. Bammett couldn't pick it up. Well done there by Zorko. Got the handball back to the logo to Lester, who kicks it to the arc. Draper nudged underneath it there by Evans. Rayner Robes weaves around in traffic. The left foot inside 50 at the back. Lohman with the fly brings it down to ground. Port with the numbers there. Well done by Evans. Flicks through to Murray's and he'll extract with the kick. Nice.
Great kick.
Hits Marshall beyond defensive 50. Marks and hand passes infield to the running Evans. So that ankle, he must be juiced up well. He's running okay there. Kicks it to half forward. Mark taken by Durden, 60 from goal. Deep kick. He's got Visentini out the back. And Big Dante didn't even have to get to his peak to mark that one. It was a chest grab in the goal square.
Oh, what a transition that was. Under pressure. And
the big fella did a great lead. He had Harris Andrews, and we know Harris loves to just play in front and read the ball, but he kept on leading up to engage Harris, and then he'd lead deep, and Harris got caught. Do I come with the kicker? Do I stay on the defender? In the end, he didn't do anything, and they had an easy kick in the goal square.
And after conceding the first 3 goals of the game, Port Adelaide's about to hit the lead here. Dante Visentini straight in front, kicks the goal. And that's 4 in a row for Port. Visentini's 5th goal of the season, and the Power take the lead at the Gabba against the Premiers. 13.5 minutes, second term. It's Port 4-5-29, leading Brisbane 3-6-24.
Well, they're just doing, a lot of stats. They're well down inside 50s. They're losing centre clearances, as Acker talked about, which is usually a strength of theirs. But they're pressure and they're harassing Brisbane, so there's no easy ball in Brisbane's forward line. Everything's bomb kicking and they're kicking to a contest, which is suiting Port Adelaide beautifully. And then they've been able to get them on the counter-attack a few times, Acker, with some skills, which probably normally hasn't been their go, but they've done it really well today and pulled Brisbane's defence apart.
And they've just even that sequence there. Oh, I'm not sure about some of the defensive running they needed to do there, Brisbane, but they'll fix that.
You can see why they wanted Logan Evans back on the park after that injured ankle. Boy, he can move. Off hands now out of the middle there for Drew by Port. Gets it inside 50 at ground level. Marshall can't pick it up. It was Jasper Fletcher. Handball back to Ty Gallup. Off a step, he launches it just short of centre wing. Evil bounce, beat O'Brien for Port, but it favoured Lohman, who tapped it into the path of Dunkley. Burgoyne's had a great battle with Dunkley and tackles him into the ground. Tough opponent, but it's great effort from Burgoyne. Held him up, and his umpire's going to throw it up just where the shade is meeting the sunshine on this Vulture Street wing. Visentini got it down. Horn Francis handball back to Burgoyne. Punches it forward. Georgiadis gathered on the bounce. Nice tackle. Held to him there by Ryan Lester, and we'll get a ball up in front of the ABC Sport commentary box. It's Port by 5 points.
He's Michael Price. I'm Quentin Hull. Matt Primus and Jason Ackermanis are your experts. As the ball's thrown in the air on the wing. Fort and Visentini tangle, rowed by Drew, under pressure, toe pokes Port to half forward, met by Harris Andrews though, gathers one-handed, hands it to Dunkley. Dunkley's kick is smothered off the shin of Horn Francis.
Unlucky.
Yeah, it's a free kick to him.
So that's out on the full.
Unlucky there, but also brilliant.
Free kick to Dunkley. Kicks infield to Will Ashcroft, who's been prominent, coming up for touch 13.
This is their zone, so they're not playing anyone, but they're just taking away all those little short kicks for Brisbane and forcing them long down the line.
And there it is, a long ball to a 2-on-2. Oh, fifth man in. Rayner at the front almost marked, couldn't, goes to ground level.
Tackle.
And Lohmann plays tackler to ensure that there was no way through for young O'Brien. He's wrapped up, ball up at left half forward for the Lions. It's Port leading by 5 points.
Umpire throws it up quickly. Fort got it down, but it's taken by Horne-Francis. He's tackled, looking for a high ball free kick, and no.
Unlucky.
Will Ashcroft has got it for holding the ball. He takes off, runs to the arc of 50 and pulls it left. One behind. Some might say that's footy gods. 3-7-25, plays 4-5-29. It's Port by 4 points.
And Burne-Jones quick with the inbound. Oh, the kick's turned over. Wilmot met it, couldn't mark, but fumbled it near Lohmann. He couldn't pick up. Rayner does, breaks a tackle. Rayner snaps and makes the power pay for that poor kick in. Cam Rayner kicks his first goal, and it returns Brisbane to the lead. Now, unfortunately for Darcy Burne-Jones, went for a bit of a sizzler down the corridor and it didn't work. Brisbane, their first goal since the 16-minute mark of the first quarter comes a quarter later, 17 into the second. 4-7, 31 to 4-5-21. The Lions back in front.
They need that, yeah, just a skewed kick. It was on.
It was on, was it?
But Darcy Wilmot he was running at full pelt just to try and cut that one off. In the end, got it too. Could nearly take the mark. Still a great goal from Cam Rayner. It's not an easy one. A couple of fumbles here and there. Picked it up. Little break of a tackle and good snap. Geez, they need him kicking goals, Matty.
They need a few more from their smalls. They need to get the ball in there quicker and give them better looks.
That's ignited the crowd here at the Gabba. Off hands. Neil back to Will Ashcroft. He's got Drew for company, but he gets the ball to right half forward. Tunstall picks up on the half volley. Central ball gets not quite central enough as Halia rushes it through for one behind. 31 plays 29, Lions by 2 points.
Getting out of the centre. They are getting murdered in their Port.
And a long exit on the head of Bammett, spoiled away by Answorth at left half back. Then Answorth plays tackler. Got around Watkins, now turned over. O'Brien's hand pass pinched by McCluggage for Brisbane. Hands it to Levi Ashcroft, bounces on 50, right half forward, centering kick on the head of the pack. It's fisted away. Drew taps it further afield for Port Adelaide, hoping for a man to help him out. And Zatto, he's over the top of it and stopped. Couldn't create. And we'll see a ball up. Centre half back for Port.
Just chaos in there at the moment.
Quickly tossed up. Bergman's kick doesn't clear the congestion. Rayner swoops. Great gather, hands it out the back to Will Ashcroft from 55. Kick to the pocket. It bounces in front of Morrison. Rolls away from him over the boundary line. Aaliyah was close as well. On the text, Tom says, I'm listening to the call while playing disc golf in Churchill in Victoria. I had a great laugh about the acca being hyphenated. Great stuff, boy.
What is disc golf?
It's frisbee. And you chuck it for an elevated cage.
Oh.
Yeah,
something
like that.
Are they that bored there?
Throw in right forward pocket. Bailey. Kick semi-smothered at the top of the goal square. Logan Morris tries to pick it up. His kick semi-smothered as well. Boy, it's a hot footy. Taken down, and who is that coming up with the ball? It's going to be Vicentini was tackled. So the umpire throws it up at the top of the goal square. Vicentini gets up, takes his own ball, handball backwards, and the extracting kick for Port Adelaide from Watkins was smothered over the boundary line, and the right forward pocket for Brisbane. There'll be a throw in. We've played 20 minutes of the second quarter. It's the Lions by 2 points.
How good has Sweet been, Matty? He has dominated. Yeah, absolutely dominated.
Been a good pickup.
Yeah.
Well, it's Vicentini against Draper at the moment. Draper taps down. Bailey comes through to win a hard ball. Swivels and snaps. No penetration into the chop. Lai picks up for Port. Hands to Horne-Francis. Hands to Aaliyah in the pocket. And the big fella booms the power clear of defence. On the head of a one-on-one. Two berries. Joe and Jared. Give it to Joe. He's caught, though, by McCluggage. It was like a yogurt there for a moment. We'll see a ball up at left half forward.
So the younger beat the elderberry. It was slapped down there by Fort. Fort picked up by Horne-Francis, who's having a blinder. He kicks it towards the logo. Good contest, Leicester v Marshall. Ball spills into the corridor. Answorth swept a handball back to Harris Andrews off a step. Laconic. Harris Andrews chips it towards Jasper Fletcher. Nicely set up. Port Adelaide in front of him. So Fletcher retreats back inside defensive 50 to Andrews. He's got Levi Ashcroft to his right. He takes the mark. Now he puts it very wide out to the wing. It's a nicely delivered kick to Ryan Lester in front of the Port bench. He chips it down the line. Tunstall. Lester kept running, and the ooh from the crowd was because the return handball from Tunstall was too far out for the veteran. Couldn't get a mitt to it. Just got a fingertip to it as it went over the boundary line, so a throw in on the outer side.
21 minutes second term. Brisbane led by 7 points at quarter time. Port did get to the lead. Cam Rayner kicking the most recent goal in the game. It's the Lions by 3 points. Ainsworth harassed off it by Horn Francis at the stoppage, and Burgoyne sweeps on the crumbs. His hand pass, though, sets his teammate a dump. Georgiades wrapped up by Gallup holding the ball. Neal comes away, takes the advantage, but his hand pass misses the target of Levi Ashcroft. Or what's going on?
Free kick. Are they coming back?
Are they going to give Georgiades a free kick for getting dumped?
Correct.
And that's not a popular decision at the Gabba.
Cacophony of boos.
Georgiades, left half forward, 60 out, kicks to full forward, Fort's in the way. Vicentini was the target, but Darcy Fort takes the grab. There's a little bit in this. It's building nicely. Red Sharon Sunday here on ABC Sport. Leicester receives in the pocket, kicks to half back. Jared Berry marks, hands to Fletcher, chips to Rayner. Lions get to halfway. This is the most Lions they've looked for, I reckon, the last quarter. Hand pass goes to Jared Berry. Kicks inside 50. Aaliyah gets back. Was Morris held? Yep. Aaliyah marked it, but Morris wasn't let get to the contest. And a free kick. Well, we've had 2 Berries, and now we've got a Logan lining up.
Now that was... It sort of nearly didn't need to be done.
No, young O'Brien then just panicked a little bit, got caught on a key defender, and didn't need to do it because Aaliyah was coming back, but he just panicked to grab the jumper. And
there are 2 Logans playing, by the way.
He may kick this, but this is not the distance, 45 metres to go around the body.
It's setting up for that right-footed snap, isn't he?
Really?
Logan Morris, 3 steps, bang, you'll have to hit it well. Boy, it's high enough, it's long enough, it's straight enough. Logan Morris, a wonderful execution of a long-range right-footed snap punt. 2 in a row for Brisbane. And the Lions lead by 9 points at 5-8-38 to 4-5-29. Jason Ackermanis, Matt Primus with you on Sunday Footy on ABC Sport.
Probably through that snap back. Yeah, you have to kick that perfectly.
Just having a look at Logan there as we watch the replay of the dump and the play on. But it looks like it must be maybe a quad or a hamstring. I'm not sure there, but he's certainly limping. But he's out there. Good free kick. He deserved that free kick, but good finish. Aaliyah doing the right thing, getting back to 2-on-1. But this just stopped that little bit of momentum Porter building up in this game, Matty.
When you do get a chance to watch that replay, I think there might be a little bit of a case to answer for Ty Gallup. Arms were pinned and the sling and the head hit the ground, Mitch Georgiades. So watch this space. The crowd activated here at the Gabba as Neal gets the clearance, kicks it to right half forward. Charlie Cameron in battle there with Lai. And, well, the ball stuck underneath the pair of them. Call it a draw.
Yeah, that's 7-2 in the centre bounce. As you mentioned, good on Zaka, they're getting destroyed there and putting their defence under enormous pressure.
Well, they did beat the Dockers quite comprehensively in that category last week. Drew came off hands, handball to the run of Byrne-Jones, kicks it beyond centre wing. Leicester did the body work against Georgiades early. The ball bounced freely, gathered by Leicester, backwards to Ainsworth. Off a step, he kicks it beyond centre wing. And Evans absolutely belted the ball into the 5th row against Tunstall. Throw in outer side in the sunshine. That's where Zane Bojak's sitting.
Straight to Zane.
I don't know whether you guys with your binoculars can see it, but apparently we're in flip-flop time here. It's plugger time for Port Adelaide with their side.
Oh, they've got a pair of thongs. Are they dress thongs or?
What on earth would that mean?
There's a line there, but Matt's with me. He's Port royalty. I won't say anything. But boundary throw in. Zorko wins it back of the pack. Hands it to Rayner. Hands it to McCluggage. Under pressure, but still got the hand pass to Will Ashcroft, who's had quite the half. Kicks inside 50. Morris presents. Spoiled by Aaliyah. Was it over his chops? No. Play on. Byrne-Jones comes away for the power. Hands it on to Bergman. Bergman's kick is a last disposal. It goes over the boundary line. Leicester takes it immediately for Brisbane on the wing. Kicks infield to Zorko. Marks and kicks to Wilmot. Defensive side of halfway. Now they horseshoe it to our side from the far side through Ainsworth. Gives it to Gallup. Now he puts the hoof into it. Long kick to attacking 50. Jones to the front for Port. Couldn't mark. Jared Berry's over it for Brisbane. Hands it to McCluggage under pressure. Turned over. Burne-Jones picks up for Port. Hand pass through Murray's and then Bammett hands it to Lockie Jones and the Power are out.
Well, they're using their hands well. Joe Berry back to Burne-Jones, back to Simple Jones, who kicks it long over the wing, and Wilmot. Oh, good contest, Vicentini. It was a 2-on-1. Then the big fella handballed it to himself. Central kick off the ground. Beautifully picked up Zaddo. He kicks it inside 50. A one-on-one contest. Georgiades versus Fletcher. And then Charlie Cameron back. Handball to Gallup. Gives it back to Cameron. And it's a free kick. It's going to be downfield because Cameron dealt with after the fact. And it ends up in the hands of Jasper Fletcher. What a great piece of work from Dante Vicentini there, solo, the big ruckman.
In, and then the kick inside, found his teammate. They were out then.
Good game of footy this. Brisbane lead by 9 points, getting close to half time. Leicester's got the ball at right half back for Brisbane. Presents Draper with an easy chest mark with a chip over the man on the mark. So Draper, the big fella, at right half back for the Lions. Infield short on the 45, not 15. Wilmot plays on, having grabbed it, kicks it on the half volley to Neil, wrapped up immediately by Murray's, and a ball up. Not far from the bullseye, which is bathed in sunshine on this absolutely stunning winter Sunday at the Gabba. Sweet comes through at ruck time, fumbles the ball though. Neil's taken though. He got the ball and got jumped on immediately in the tackle of Durden.
Sweet again. He's dominated.
Brisbane 5-8-38. Port 4-5-29. 27 minutes second quarter. Stoppage near the middle. McCluggage on hands and knees. Propels it forward. Bailey picks up brilliant hands. Gave to McKenna. On the run, Connor McKenna shins his kick on goal. Kicks it across the face and it rolls out of play. And we'll see a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Lions.
Diving pressure there from Port. Oh, he was out then.
They're dominating the inside 50s, Brisbane, 35-19, but they've only got 5 goals to 4 advantage. Throw in. Darcy Fort got it down to Rayner. He swamped Drew. Gathered it, gave to Wines. Wines flicked a handball out, cut off by Jared Berry. Handball to his good mate McCluggage. He puts it across to the face of goal, and I tell you what, Logan Morris had no hope there. He had 3 against him, spoiling. Over the boundary line, throw in right forward pocket for Brisbane. They've got a 9-point advantage late in this second quarter.
Sunday footy on ABC Sport. Boundary throw in. Brisbane in attack. Sweet at the front, tapped down to Jones, but he's immediately wrapped up, Lockie Jones. An absolute vice-like grip in the Rayner tackle. So Ump comes in immediately, tosses it in the air. Fort first hand, has to do his own roving. Darcy Fort kicks semi-smothered. Murray's is there, ensuring Cameron can't get free, and another stoppage. Brisbane with the first 3 goals of the game. Port kicked the next 4, and Brisbane have kicked the next 2. So she's had a bit of ebb and flow about it as Drew kicks it off the ground from the stoppage to clear D50. And Georgiades will get a free kick, push in the back against Leicester.
It's done for holding the man.
Holding it was it?
It's a very physical battle between these two, Leicester and Georgiades, who launches a long one beyond centre wing. Vicentini at the back of the pack destroyed it and took it over the boundary line. It's going to be a throw in.
Port Adelaide have been running in waves out of that back line. Their run and carry has been the signature hallmark of how they've pretty much got all their scores after the domination of Brisbane.
Throw in centre wing outer side. Fort versus Sweet. Sweet got it down. Fort got back in there. So did McCluggage. Drew got a handball backwards to Evans. Evans pursued by McCluggage. He sold him a dummy. Well done, Evans. Went around the corner, kicked long towards the leap of Ollie Wines. Spoiled nicely there by Zorko over the boundary line between the two benches.
Jared Berry, I reckon.
And it's going to be a throw in.
Well, 193 centimetres of Jared Berry. Very, very 5th tallest he is. He always tells me how tall he is.
Throwing on the outer wing. Late in this first half. Ricochets off the ruckman. There he is, all 193 centimetres of him, tumbling over the line, Jared Berry, without being able to pick up.
He doesn't look that big, does he? But he is huge.
He's a tallish guy. He's deceptively tall a bit in the Pat Cripps mode.
Yes.
You don't realise how tall the Carlton captain is until sort of stand next to him. Now we've got a committee on whether or not this is a throw-in or a last disposal free kick. It's going to be the former. A throw-in At left half forward.
Hang on.
Oh, hold on. We're just...
The arc said something.
the arc.
To throw it in.
The arc's been involved.
And suddenly, it is going to be a free kick to Brisbane. Dear.
See, that's not what the rule was intended to do.
I know, but it's sort of good that they can quickly have a look and override it, because that is a free kick every day of the week.
Berry with the free kick. That's Jared for Brisbane. Kicked it on Dunkley's head, who had it spoiled away by Drew. There's just a bit of push and shove as the ball goes out of play near the benches on the outer side. 25 seconds left in this first half. Brisbane 5-8-38. Port 4-5-29. Throw in, sweep to the front of Fort. Again, it bubbles around. There's been no real explosion from the stoppage. Been very tight in there. Lions have got this one out the back. Neil hands it to Will Ashcroft. Under pressure. Dump kick down the wing. Ollie Wines is in the way. And the Brownlow medalist of 2021 takes the grab for Port Adelaide. Chips over the man on the mark. Murray's marks. Kicks Port deep. Late chance for the power. Whitlock takes a juggler and completes the mark just before the siren. And in consecutive weeks, we've had action very close to the siren in Port games.
After the siren kick, that's exactly 9 seconds left.
This one was completed. It wasn't as tight a thing as who was it? Horn Francis last week who kicked a goal right on quarter time. Yeah. So Whitlock
on back. That's a Michael Holding and some run up.
The man on the mark, 5 metres in from the boundary, 40 metres from goal. Left half forward for Whitlock to complete what's been a very creditable first half for the Power. His kick is never on target. Misses everything near side. No score, so you can put a line underneath 5-8 to 4-5 at half-time. Brisbane lead the game by 9 points. The locals 5-8-38 to the visitors 4-5-29. So Brisbane did win the quarter in the end, kicking 2-4 to Port Adelaide's 2-2. But Port did hit the front 14 minutes into that quarter. So the flow of the game has seen Brisbane kick the first 3 goals, then Port kick the next 4 to either side of quarter time, and then Brisbane the last 2 of that quarter and indeed the half. Yet to get a multiple goal kicker in the game. They're all singles. So the 5 for Brisbane are Lohman, Ashcroft W, Morris, Rayner, Bailey. And for Port, it's Marshall, Georgiades, Visentini and Durden. Good contest. I wonder what Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus, 2 legends of these clubs who played in some of the iconic battles around the turn of the millennium. Great to have them with you on ABC Sport to analyse this one. As a neutral, boys, I'm loving it. Good contest.
You should.
Absolutely it is. It's they're just bringing them into the trenches. There's been a high stoppage going. There's 44, 45 stoppages, a lot in Brisbane's forward 50, but Port are happy to that. They're defending really well. They're taking away their speed and on their handball chains. When they do slow them down, they've got a great zone, so stopping Brisbane's uncontested mark and being able to transition the ball. And the unfortunate thing with Port is the 3 of their 4 goals have come from coast to coast, and to rely on that score source, as you mentioned, Akka, is really difficult to do that the whole game. So they need to get the ball down their end and lock it in and spend some time down there, because to play the way they're playing, while it's terrific at the moment, that's a hard way to play over a whole game where you're just conceding a lot of inside 50s. And the biggest area to help that would be to get their centre bounce sorted and get the ball inside their end and give Georgiades and these guys a chance to kick a score, or if not, spend some time down there and give their backs a rest. But look, they've done terrifically well. They've taken away Brisbane's weapons and they've played a bit to their strengths, and they're going at half-time right in the game.
There's nothing more than exactly what you said. Centre square, they'd like to fix that up because they're getting destroyed in there. That said, Brisbane aren't taking advantage of their dominance in there. Around the ground, they're quite good, Port. They've got a couple of players on the move, and their ruckman, Sweet, has dominated. He has been their best player. He's given them first looks. He's followed up some of the marking he's done. And that transition that they've done, Port, from defence to offence, inside, they've done it heaps of different ways. But when you do get Brisbane one-on-one, either pairs or 3 of them in there, you've got a chance. And they have tried to exploit that, and they've had some ripping marks down there, Q.
23 hit-outs for Sweet, just to back that up. And you compare that to 10 for Draper and 6 for Fort. Visentini's had 5 first touches. So often it's about, as you know, the hit-out to advantage. But it's not just at stoppage time around the grounds. as well, but
been enormous.
it has neutralised what has been a strength of the Lions, the way that Draper has fitted into this team.
It's worked for him around the
Draper's
ground.
ability to run around the ground, isn't it, and get forward and grab the ball out of the ruck and do all that stuff. He certainly, as I say, they've taken away quite a few strengths of Brisbane, and that's what's allowed them to stay in this game. And Vaughan Francis has been huge through the middle of the ground, and Wines and Drew have held their own with Brisbane's star-studded midfield. So, yeah, there's lots of good things to look at from Josh Carr's point of view. And I'm sure Fags will be happy. They've still had, they've had 5 goals late, so they've had some easy looks on goals. Brisbane, I'm sure he's probably thinking we should be another couple of goals in front, but they know they're up for a game of footy.
Well, it's similar to last week at the Adelaide Oval. Yep. Very good in the first half against Fremantle. Then the Dockers were able to get on top. So that's the question, I think, for the Power. Can they learn from last week? And Brisbane, we know, can have patches in games where they can get a little sleepy, but then look brilliant in the same game. So an intriguing second half to come. Repeating that scoreline at the long break here at the Gabba. Brisbane lead by 9 points. The Lions 5-8-38 to the Powers 4-5-29. Loving your texts coming in. Keep them flowing. Please send us your name and where you're texting from. 0437 774 774 is the number. 0437 774 774. Gazza the Truckie. He's travelling through the Pilbara on his triple road train, enjoying the call. Ears on the radio, eyes on the road, Gazza. Thank you for your company. Glad that we could be your company.
How long would a triple road train be, Q?
Oh, well, I think it'd be 3 times as long as a regular one.
Can you tell me this, Q? Why do they call a truck with a trailer a semi-trailer? Wouldn't it be a full trailer? That makes no sense. Who comes up with this stuff? It's just crazy. Anyway.
Is semi-trailer hyphenated?
How does a truck with a trailer become a semi-trailer?
G'day to Benjamin from Melbourne. He texts, I'm going for the Lions, ready to see 3 in a row. Thank you, Benjamin. Dan from East Perth. This is an interesting text. He says, thanks for the call. A hunch based on zero intel. I reckon Tassie will pick up at least 1 Ashcroft.
Yeah. No.
On zero intel. Well, we've got some intel here.
It's not happening.
Okay.
There's no way 2 Ashcrofts will be going, let's go to the sunny isles of Tassie and leave this great place called Brisbane. No way. Not a chance.
Yeah. By the way, we've got North Melbourne and St Kilda coming your way in about 50 minutes. That game gets underway. You can hear it on ABC Listen. Look for the AFL button. Toggle between the two to hear the calls of either here or the game at Docklands. There is one late change in that game. Dan Butler will play for St Kilda with the boy from the Leighton Whitten Crows, Cooper Sharman, managed. No changes for
that is.
North. Leighton Whitten.
Yes, I played the game there.
Yep, in the Riverina Football League. Again, I love this story. So the Leighton Redlegs merged with the Whitten Yanko Tigers to become the Leighton Whitten Crows.
True story.
Yep.
Had legs to the Crows.
I played and we won. It was a great game.
Who did you play against that day, Jason? Was it the Narrandera Imperial Football Club, who were known as the Eagles?
No, it wasn't.
Or was it Ganmain Grong Grong?
Oh, here we go.
It sounded like that one.
You've got me going here. Aaron in Collinswood says, what's the latest on Zach Bailey's contract, Daka? I had a chat to the media man pre-game. He says, no, haven't got anything concrete yet.
Anyway, it's coming. Just be patient. When do you need it? This week? Next week?
Okay, there's the call, Aaron. Just be patient. Thank you. 0437 774 774. First of 2 games in the NRL for the day underway. 23 minutes played at, I think that game's at Cogra. Either Cogra or Wollongong. St George Illawarra is taking on Gold Coast. The Titans 10 lead the Dragons 6 to come later today. Manly v Cronulla. NRL on the green button on ABC Listen. Half-time at the Gabba. Brisbane by 9 points. Hope you're enjoying Sunday footy on ABC Sport. There's more of it after a trip to the ABC newsroom.
ABC News with Satyam Weinstein. The Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he'll speak to US President Donald Trump about new tariffs slapped on Australian goods. A new 12.5% tariff has been placed on 60 nations, including Australia, because of what the Trump administration claims are concerns about slavery and forced labour in the supply chain. Mr. Albanese says the allegations about Australia's supply chain are false.
We'll raise it at every level of the Australia-US relationship. We've already done so. These are unjustified. We have very strong provisions on modern slavery. We're strengthening those even further.
Police in Berlin say a suspect in a car ramming at a Pride event is known to them. One person is dead and 16 more have been injured after a van ploughed into a crowd in the centre of the German capital. Many of the injured are believed to be in life-threatening condition. Police say a white vehicle drove into a crowd of people at Tiergarten Park in central Berlin. The annual Christopher Street Day LGBTQ+ celebrations attract hundreds of thousands of people. Officials say a large manhunt is underway for the suspect who's believed to have ties with Islamist circles. Authorities in southwestern France have ordered another 55,000 people to evacuate the area around Bordeaux as devastating wildfires continue to burn out of control. A massive military cargo plane has been deployed for the first time to drop fire retardant. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, says emergency crews are working to save lives as wildfires continue to burn west of Madrid. Around 90,000 people have been told to leave their homes or in lockdown after the fires there close to the city merged. There are concerns the Middle East conflict could widen further, reigniting Yemen's civil war and also merging Russia's war on Ukraine. Larry Buttrose reports.
In Yemen, the Air Force of the Saudi-backed government has struck military sites of the Iranian-aligned Houthis, with officials saying both sides are mobilizing forces along the front. Meanwhile, Iran has accused Ukraine of hitting one of its commercial ships in the Caspian Sea. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says forces targeted a Russian ship being used to transport Iranian-linked military cargo. The US military says its blockade of Iranian ports is still in full effect, but hasn't explained why it's halted strikes for the first time in 2 weeks. There have also been no reports of Iranian attacks on neighbouring US allies in the Gulf.
Pop star Katy Perry says she's appalled after the White House used her song Firework in a video showing US military strikes. The BBC's Gabrielle Sungalaita reports.
The video posted on TikTok showed unclassified footage of bombs going off in Iran, with the explosions timed to Perry's words. Boom, boom, boom. She said the song had originally been written as an anthem of hope, healing, and inner strength, and the White House's video was a violation of what the lyrics stood for. Other musicians have also criticized the Trump administration for using their songs. In June, Ariana Grande condemned the use of her song Bye in a video showing immigration officers detaining people.
Homicide Squad detectives are investigating the death of a woman in Melbourne's inner north. Here's Yvette Gray.
Police have confirmed a 73-year-old woman was found dead in a home on Brooks Crescent in Fitzroy North about 1 o'clock on Saturday morning. Circumstances which led to the discovery of her body have not been released, but police say at this stage her death is being treated as suspicious. The Homicide Squad has been called in. Investigators are waiting for the results of an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death. Police say the deceased woman is from Fitzroy North. Detectives are appealing for anyone with information about her death to come forward.
A new national park in Sydney's west, 3 times the size of Centennial Parklands in the east, is expected to open by the end of the year. The Goolgoor National Park will be established west of Bringelly, incorporating 2 existing conservation areas, along with about 700 hectares of old farming and rural residential land. It'll include new campgrounds along with walking and cycling tracks and preserve the habitat of an estimated 28 threatened species. And Canberra Raiders back rower Jordan Preston is facing at least a week on the sidelines after being charged by the NRLW Match Review Committee following yesterday's loss to Cronulla. Preston's been cited for a Grade 2 dangerous contact over the first half tackle with Shante Kiran Ratu. She'll miss 1 match with an early guilty plea, or 2 if she challenges unsuccessfully. ABC News.
Okay, let's do it. The ABC Listen app now has a space just for kids and families. The only place for new episodes of Bluey Listen Along. Radio, podcasts and routines. I love it. Everything families need anytime on the ABC Listen app.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Bammett in the front position. Beautiful central kick, finds Durden. Launches it from 45. That's a beautiful kick. Brings Port Adelaide to within a point.
Mark taken by Durden, 60 from goal. Deep kick, he's got Vicentini out the back. And big Dante didn't even have to get to his peak to mark that one. It was a chest grab in the goal square.
Oh, what a transition that was. Under pressure.
And after conceding the first 3 goals of the game, Port Adelaide's about to hit the lead here. Dante Vicentini straight in front, kicks the goal. And that's 4 in a row for Port. Burne-Jones quick with the inbound. Oh, the kick's turned over. Wilmot met it, couldn't mark, but fumbled it near Lohman. He couldn't pick up. Rayner does, breaks a tackle. Rayner snaps and makes the power pay for that 4 kick in. Cam Rayner kicks his first goal, and it returns Brisbane to the lead. Berry kicks inside 50. Aaliyah gets back. Was Morris held? Yep. And a free kick. Logan Morris. 3 steps. Bang. You'll have to hit it well. Boy, it's high enough. It's long enough. It's straight enough.
They're dominating the inside 50s, Brisbane, 35-19, but they've only got 5 goals to 4 advantage.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
The Gabba is bathed in Sunday sunshine, and Port Adelaide has come with the, figuratively speaking, heat to ensure that we've got a contest at half-time. Quentin Hull's my name. Welcome back to this contest between Brisbane and Port. And it is a contest, not just in the figurative sense, but a literal sense as well. The Lions lead by 9 at 5-8-38 to 4-5-29. Brisbane was 7 points in front at quarter time, so the Lions have won both quarters, but Port's been right in the contest, and as they did in the first half against Fremantle last week at home, they get to halfway right in it. We knew that the Dockers, though, ran away in the second half last week, so that's the challenge for Josh Carr and his Power boys. Can they improve on week to week, having played, well, certainly the favourites for the minor premiership one week, and then the reigning premiers away from home the next week? We've got North Melbourne and St Kilda doing battle at Docklands later today. Repeating that Dan Butler comes in for Cooper Sharman for St Kilda. No changes for North Melbourne. Call available on ABC Listen. Your texts, loving them coming through. The number is 0437 774 774. Quite a few. G'day to Steve and Julie. They text, "Hi gents, I love your call. Listening on our way across Great Central Road. Just gone through Warburton heading east."
Nice.
Cheers.
Where's that? Adelaide?
I'm not 100% sure.
She could have given us a location.
Well,
hang on, it does say Southern.
Yeah, no, that's...
Great Southern. No, that's different.
Warburton.
It's in Victoria.
Yeah, Thank you, Pricey. I knew someone would know. Janine from rural Great Southern WA. As we haven't heard where Lachie Neale is going, I'll give my opinion. He'll stay a Lion next year. He loves it there. He's their champion, and they will look after him regards family time. But after that, he'd be a great inaugural player for the Tassie Tigers. What do you think, guys? Brackets, I can't stand the thought of him heading to Collingwood. I think get used to the thought of him going to Collingwood.
Yes.
That's what we can tell you.
He's on the move.
Yeah. Brian from Adelaide says, I thought the name is spelled Jason AKKA-MENACE. Akamenis. The hyphen joke. People love that.
They're getting worse.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you make fun of Maddie's name?
Keep it on, eh?
No, we can't do that because we've just had his folks in the box.
We did, yes.
I don't mind pulling back the curtain a little bit. So during halftime when you were hearing the news, great to meet your folks, Matt. And for a moment, I thought, that's not your dad. He's about 1.5 foot shorter than you. How could those two 5'8" people produce a 6'10" giant like you?
Yes, throwback gene somewhere has helped me. Yeah, but up for a week to visit the family and see the grandkids and watch a bit of footy yesterday. So, yeah, good to have them up and good to show them around up here.
And I was just asking you, is it coincidence that it's a Port game? Because we know they've got family roots to Geelong, but where's their allegiance these days?
Wherever I'm working, so
Southport fans. Southport fans. Okay, 9 points the lead to Brisbane at half-time. There might be a bit going on with that tackle from Ty Gallop on Mitch Georgiades in the second quarter.
It's actually the secondary.
Okay, I'm going to have a bit more of a look at that. But, gents, can you give us a little bit more of a lowdown before we get into this third quarter?
Everything was fine with the tackle. I was just watching it on replay there, and Ty Gallup, was it on Georgiades? Yeah. Sort of, and that was fine. It rolled him good. Got his own arm in there, so it wasn't a head hitting the ground. But then after that, Georgiades is prone, so he's face down, and he's just picked him up so that the top part of his jersey and lifted him up a couple of times and gone bang, bang, and he didn't even just smashed his head straight on the ground, and that is a problem. They don't like that. At the best of times, it didn't look good. I think he's might be for a spell, Pricey, or he might be up for a very big fine.
Yeah, it was an aggressive action. I think the tackle itself, there might just be, that would have been worthy of a fine though, Acker, because again, when the arms were pinned, but the secondary action, definitely.
Yeah, sorry, that was me groaning in the background. I've just seen the secondary action. Basically, the tackle wasn't that bad.
I didn't think it was.
But he grabbed the back of his jumper and then threw his body into the deck after lifting him about 30 centimetres off the ground.
Yeah. Nice.
That's a brain explosion, which is going to cost Ty Gallup his spot in the team, close to finals with the likes of Oscar Allen, Dan Annabelle, Lincoln McCarthy, Tom Duday, all playing in the VFL.
Yep.
We've got them in 2 weeks, so fingers crossed.
There's a raft of AFL-ready Lions playing in the VFL.
It's a great setup for them, isn't it? You know, they're able to give a couple of guys a go here that don't normally get a look in, and you cement your place at this time of the year. It's a good time to stick in the team.
I think he's been playing extraordinarily well, though. Can I say? I don't think he'd be that sure to go out of the side either. I think he might get a couple of weeks though on the sidelines for it, but we'll see. We'll see with this second half.
It has been a very physical contest between those two all day, so there's a little bit in it.
Okay, I'm going to throw this to our experts, and particularly, here's the context. Should Lions fans be concerned that they aren't further in front, or can Port fans believe today might be different to when they were able to hold another heavy hitter, but for only a half last week?
I think they need to spend more time in their forward 50. They can't continue going the way they have Port Adelaide, where Brisbane try to get more speed on the ball.
So we're back into the middle. Draper flicks it forward. Now Horne-Francis did well. Running backwards, he goes all the way back to defensive 50. Flares it out to the right to find Watkins at right half back. He kicks to the wing looking for Burgoyne. Finds him on the logo in front of the Port benches. Beautiful sunshine here at the Gabba. Not a cloud in the sky, or one or two. As Burgoyne launches it towards right half forward. It drops short of Whitlock. Harris Andrews got in front, took the mark. He was brought down. Crowd wanted 50, nothing doing. So Andrews at left half back, and then the little 45 kick into Leicester.
Leicester won that centre square clearance as the ball, a couple of short kicks there.
Leicester to McCluggage, and here McCluggage just takes a moment before chipping to Will Ashcroft, marks in the bullseye. Hand passes to Gallup, runs through the cricket pitches, kicks inside 50, intercept mark taken by Logan Evans, who was close to Logan Morris, but it was Evans winning the battle of the Logans. Oh, that is a bad kick too. He chipped it to Bergman, makes good of it, runs through half back after gathering on the half volley. 1-2 hand pass exchange with Sweet, and then a mung kick to half forward, floated like a sack. Never got to Marshall. Marked by McCluggage at half back for Brisbane. Hands to Zorko. Kick to the wing for Wilmot. Wilmot marks, kicks to Hipwood. Kick and a half from goal between wing and half forward. Hippie gets onto his left. It's a high over to full forward. Punched away from the pack by the knuckle of Zirk Thatcher. Over the boundary for a throw in.
It's definitely a change in Brisbane's offence. They want to, all of a sudden, just hitting these short 45s. I think that was the fifth or sixth they've already done in this first couple of minutes.
So once again, it's a crowded forward line for Brisbane. Umpire throws it in from the right forward pocket. Draper versus Sweet. Draper got to the front. It skidded off his knuckles to the back. McCluggage handball to Tunstall. Tunstall from an angle pulls it across, out of bounds on the full. It hits the behind post 2/3 of the way up. So it's going to be a free kick in the right back pocket. Goes to Aaliyah. It's the Lions by 9 points.
Third poster of the day, believe it or not.
Right near the Lions race. Aaliyah with a long kick to right half back for Port. Georgiades in the pack, got a touch, couldn't mark. Answorth is tackled immediately on gaining possession. And Zatto locks him up. See another ball up in the sunshine of the Stanley Street side. Sweet beats Draper for the tap. Bergman, though, at ground level, wrapped up by McCluggage. Another ball up.
It's been so good today in their midfield. He's probably been there for a bit, but he's really good today.
Sweet again beats Draper there. Taps boundary side for Burgoyne. Just keeps it in on hands and knees. Hand pass creates Watkins. Kick around the boundary. Intercepted by Lester of Brisbane on the wing. Hands it to Cameron. Cameron's kicked to half forward. Well, Hipwood was the target, but Zerk Thatcher takes a great mark and releases Evans with a hand pass. He chips to Lai. Marks at half back. Runs on and kicks towards centre half forward. 2 against Marshall. And he gets a free kick. Did a great job there, Todd Marshall. Harris Andrews and Ty Gallup, they were just a bit nervous and they went a bit too hard, and Marshall gets the free kick. He'll launch from 50. No angle.
Yeah, a great job by Marshall. Not normally his strength, they're competing really strong in the air, but he had to with 2 on there to make sure they didn't mark the ball and threw his body back. Yeah, it was a bit of a soft one, but competing in the air good, and this is probably where he kicked his goal from in the first quarter.
Very similar position, Matt. So Todd Marshall to narrow the margin to 3 points. Right foot strike. It's a little bit right. He doesn't look keen off the boot. He's missed it. It's a point, and Brisbane lead by 8 points. 5-8-38 to 4-6-30. Early third term, Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
So it's Darcy Wilmot, aggressive kick straight up the middle to McCluggage. McCluggage has got Ashcroft, but goes to the arc. It bounces around the feet there of Zorko, flicks it up by hand to Wilmot. He juggles it, and then his kick bounces onto the arc of 52 Ashcroft. He's turned it over by hand. Burton-Jones, his kick's a scrubber inside 50. Not one for the archives the last couple of minutes skill-wise. As Brisbane now retrieve the future, Leicester gets it out to Harris Andrews, goes beyond the 50 arc to Wilmot at right half back. Once again, Porter set up in a web in front of Wilmot, so he has to turn to his right and go long down the line. It's a very high ball to half forward. Hipwood has to fly, go hard, and is nicely spoiled there by Zerk Thatcher. Front and square, Evans was taken down and is going to be holding the ball. Geez, that's red hot. He had, if you're looking at prior opportunity, there was very little. McCluggage, handball to the run of Rayner. Rayner, the long left foot to the pocket. At the back, Cameron. Played on, got tackled. And it's kicked off the deck. It's out of bounds on the full. I think it should have been holding the ball anyway against Charlie, but it's going to be a free kick to Port in the right back pocket.
That was brilliant from Lai as Cameron was buzzing around in the goal mouth.
Great tackle.
So Burton-Jones now has it for Port in the right back pocket. The Premier's really been pressured through their work today. Burton-Jones with the kick to the Sunshine on the half-back flank. Sweet had a couple to beat, brings it to deck, and it's jumped on for a ball up. Burgoyne picks himself up along with Answorth. About 60 from the goal that the Lions are attacking. Draper and Sweet and Lockhorns. Falls to their feet. Bailey picks up for the Lions. Can't get clear. Burgoyne picks it up. Kicks it out in the full. Watkins applied a tackle there. Everything that the Brisbane Lions are doing around stoppage is hard work at the moment.
Yeah, it's just all contest footy, Q. Both teams are nearly at 80 contested possessions. Teams average about 90 a game.
Harris Andrews kick in field, and then short pass to Jared Berry, dropped at half forward. Port ball, Whitlock on the wing, grubbers it to half forward to the advantage of Durden, gathers, swivels, hits the chest of the leading Georgiades 45 from goal.
They had a spare back then, Q, but Georgiades' lead just sucked both of them backwards, and then he came back with a kick.
Players long here.
He can kick this though, Mitch Georgiades.
Likes the ones from out wide and angles.
This one though, right half forward flank for the right footer.
Take some kick from there. That said, they have just weathered this small storm, and the come up trumps at the moment, Port Adelaide.
Reigning leading goal kicker at the club. Second in the best and fairest as well, Mitch Georgiades. Highly valuable player for Port. Lays into it with his right boot. Just across the face for a point. And the Power have kicked the only 2 scores of this half so far. They've both been minus. It's a goal the difference. No, it's 7 points the difference.
Zorko comes out of the goal square, chips it forward. Darcy Fort takes the mark. The run of Zorko, handball to Dunkley. Then it gets to Lockneil, confronted, and has to tap the ball on the ground. He's corralled. Handball back to Dunkley, back to Ty Gallop. 70 from his defensive goal. Long down the line. Good fly from Logan Evans. Brought it to ground against McCluggage. Through hands. It goes back to Lai. He kicks it to half forward. Whitlock's ball by Harris Andrews. Darcy Fort roving. Handball received Tunstall backwards to Neil. Neil to half forward. It's Jared Berry, brings it to ground. Handball forward to Rayner. Gets through 2 tacklers. Has a go from 45. Hooks it around his second goal. The strength of Cam Rayner. Firstly to get through those tacklers, and then the finish sublime. The Lions back in front by 13 points, 6-8-44 to 4-7-31. 8 gone third term.
It's ugly, but they got there. He's been looking dangerous. This is the best I've seen him look, as far as every time he gets the ball, he's doing something good with it, is Cam Rayner. And kicking goals, he's been had a bit of a lean year, but that there, straight through 2 of them. They really couldn't hold him back. He's too strong anyway. But that kick from 35, snap over the shoulder, straight in front, that'll do him no harm at all, because they need him up and kicking more goals. He's too talented not to.
Well, he's up to 21 for the year now, Jason. He kicked 36 in last year's premiership campaign. He goes to the bench as his reward. Brisbane by 13 points. In the middle, Sweet beats Ford at the leap and taps down for Bergman to clear for Port. Deep entry for the power, 2-on-2 in the goal mouth. Gallop knuckles it away. He and Lester were there for Brisbane. Georgiades and Marshall were the 2 power players. And it will be thrown in next to the point post.
That was
the school end of the ground.
Better centre square clearance. They're finally starting to get some in their favour, Port Adelaide.
They're 7-4 now, Acker.
Better.
Thrown in. Sweet taps down. Wines couldn't handle it. Stolen by McCluggage of Brisbane. Hands it out the back to Gallop for a towering clearing ball from fullback to left half back. Oh, Bergman tangling with McKenna. Almost took the mark at the drop. He can't handle it though. Tunstall for Brisbane, hands it to Hipwood, back to Tunstall, given by hand. Neil finds a path at left half back, chips it to the wing. Ashcroft couldn't mark. Kicked off the ground by McKenna to half forward. It clean bowls Morris into the hands of Lai of Port. Given by hand to Zirk Thatcher. Went to ground but got a hand pass away. Turned over Durden. He handed it up. Yeah. McKenna kicks to an open goal mouth, and Cameron in game 200 as a Lion kicks a goal from point blank range. He has been a champion player for now 200 games. And when they think of Charlie, there'll be goals aplenty, there'll be revs on the Harley, but there'll be John Denver at heart. A goal for Charlie in his milestone, and the Lions lead by 19.
They've made hard work of that. I tell you, Port, it was on the pressure, coming back through the middle. A couple of errant handballs, both sides. So it's turnover city. But Brisbane capitalised there. Nice little kick there.
Can I say, Jace, this is the most non-football iconic thing since your handstands. That's what it's become.
Yep. Yeah. So
this is the second coming of the Ackermanis handstand for the non-football act, which is an icon of a Brisbane Lions successful era.
Love it. We love it.
The a cappella continues with the centre ball up, and Sweet again kicks it off the ground, the big fella. Durden did well to extract the ball, gave it to Moraes, back to Horn Francis, has a go from 50. Horn Francis and off the deck.
That's the way to quiet.
Was that Bammett? He didn't try to mark it. I reckon he's just half volleyed that from mid-air over the line.
That's the first time the Oppo has kicked a goal off the centre while John Denver a cappella was still going.
Still going, right?
Yeah.
It's back to 13 points. That's a brilliant effort. Now, have they credited that to Horn Francis or Bammett? Did Bammett get his foot to it on the line? Regardless, that's a Port Adelaide goal. 7-8-50 plays 5-7-37. 13 points the margin.
Yeah, it's 4 zipped in the centre bounce this quarter. So, as Acker was mentioning, it was 7-2 at half time, now up to 7-6. And just a beautiful power from Horn Francis. Just watching on the replay here.
Yep, they've given it to
their forwards one look. Beautiful handball received, and then just that power from 50 off 3 steps. And a beautiful shepherd on the line. Outstanding back in the game.
The audacity to kick it while the crowd was still singing John Denver as well. Centre stoppage, Brisbane's ball. Will Ashcroft's had a day out. At the back of that stoppage, that's disposal 21. It's a high kick to half forward on the head of the pack. Ball goes to ground level. Logan Evans first to gather it for Port Adelaide. Hands it to right half back for Horn Francis. Kicks it to the wing. Durden presents and marks. Got a push from Wilmot. Ump says, no, that's okay. Play on. Durden kicks it to Moraes. Just the required distance. He's just forward to the wing. Moraes marks, chips to half forward. Men in space, though. Ollie Wines has got it. 60 from goal. Kicks wide to the pocket. Georgiades tackled before the ball arrived. Free kick.
Yeah, just a beautiful lead. They have great leading patterns. They don't bomb, kick the ball. They don't really have the tools or the options to do that. Georgiades' leading patterns certainly put Brisbane defender under the pressure and gave away an unwarranted free kick.
Ryan Lester entangled illegally with Mitch Georgiades there.
They did give that last goal to Horn Francis, so they should.
Yep.
No one has touched it. Went through. It's all his.
So now Georgiades pushing off the fence. Right half forward, 50 out. For 2 in a row for Port. Right foot strikes on its way. That's a good effort. Again, just across the face. Similar miss from that similar spot earlier in the quarter. 2 goals the margin. Lions 7-8, Port 5-8.
So 1 goal 3 to Mitch Georgiades today. Zorko brings the ball back into the pocket.
That was Wilmot.
Oh, there it was, Wilmot. Sorry about that. It was given over there. Fletcher kicks it now to right half back. He's looking to Harris Andrews, who got rid of his opponent in Watkins. Took a mark, stood tall. Now he wants to play on. Barely the 15 to Levi Ashcroft up the line. Once again, he retreats back onto the arc to Harris Andrews, who looks to go back inside defensive 50 to Fletcher. And they've got their kick mark game going. It's with Ashcroft. His little 45 pass into Leicester. Now they've got the run. The handball received from Jasper Fletcher. It's a long kick inside 50. Morris versus Aaliyah at the back of the pack, but couldn't be taken by Zerk Thatcher. Handball now comes out to Jones. Jones gives it back to Horn Francis. Palms Bailey off and kicks it to Watkins at left half back. In the shadows here on the Vulture Street side for Port Adelaide.
It's composure right there. Horn Francis, don't argue, little fend.
Watkins a high kick. Hoping for Whitlock on the wing. Harris Andrews, though, punches it away from the hands of the young man and out of play. If you've just tuned in, Quentin Hull, Michael Price, Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus bringing you Sunday footy on ABC Sports. Zane Bojack down on the boundary. Brisbane by 7 points at quarter time. 9 at half time. Currently the Premiers lead by 2 goals. Good contest though, in perfect winter conditions. Bailey comes away from the throw-in. 2 steps, gets to 45 and nails a running goal. 2 for Zach Bailey. And Brisbane out to a 3-goal lead. 8-8 to 5-8. Zach Bailey now has 28 goals for the campaign.
Been super sharp out of stoppages this quarter. They've been well beaten, the Lions, but that was exquisite. And to quote Dennis Cometti, that is gun barrel straight. He's so good on the run, is Zach Bailey. He didn't need a lot of time or space. That's a beautiful kick.
Zane Bojack on the boundary.
Hugh, I know it's only 22 degrees, but I think fatigue is going to play a factor in this game. Jordan Sweet just ran past me and he's had his head in a towel. They are getting the wet, cold towels on their neck, Port Adelaide, but he looked very fatigued and struggling.
You'd be hot over there too, Zana. You might need one of those towels, big fella. No comment?
I've been over there with a hoodie. I don't think he's wearing that anymore.
Might be the coconut oil coming down.
There's a free kick from this centre ball up. It's going to go to Draper, who was shepherded out there by Vicentini. So the big man Draper has it in the centre circles. Launches a long bomb. Lohman at the back. Oh. He flew early. He actually almost landed before he grabbed it. Took it 40 out, 45-degree angle to the right.
Yeah, the class is rising, isn't it? That grab there, Rayners snapped it when the game wasn't happening much, both teams. Charlie Cameron out the back, Bailey's goal just then. The class is starting to rise to the top here and punishing Port on the scoreboard.
I know he'd like a bit more of a hang than that, but that little knee just probably gave him that inch he needed just to mark it, even though by then he was already
back on the ground.
So Kai Lohman has one. Comes in from 45 and peels it to the right. One behind. 57 plays 38. That equals the game high lead of 19 points to the Lions. 17 gone, third term.
you are tuning in and wondering where the game between North and the Saints is, you can get that on ABC Listen. We'll keep you up to date here. It's still about 20 minutes away. Dan Butler is in for the Saints. Cooper Sharman are laid out for St Kilda. No changes for North. Inbounds marked by Moraes at right half back for Port. Kicks to the wing for Berry. Marks, plays on and chips to Georgiades. Takes the mark in the sunshine of the outer side. Just forward of the wing. Infield kick marked by Burne-Jones. Darcy Burne-Jones now continues the switch across the ground. Almost back to centre half back to find Horne-Francis in space. He hoofs it to left half forward. He's got a man on his own. Watkins takes the mark. Kick and a half from goal. Now infield on the 45. Great ball movement. Marked by Lai. 55 out. Lai now kicks to a contest at the teeth of goal. 3 against Sweet. And Zorko takes the mark. Andrews was able to sort of shepherd Big Sweet away from that. Zorko marks at full-back, chips to Jared Berry in the pocket. Marks and kicks to right half-back where Hipwood is too tall for Watkins and takes a nice contested grab in the shadows of the right half-back flank member's side.
So, Eric, it's a laconic left foot. He was looking for Zorko. Intercepted by Aaliyah. Got the handball received. The defender from 45. Misses to the left. It was a great effort, but just didn't have the finish. 57 plays 38, back to 18 points the margin in favour of Brisbane.
As they say at Lang Park, everyone took the dummy from Aaliyah there. There was a great balk that everyone bought, and the big fella was galloping on goal. He would have loved to kick that. Short inbound, Levi Ashcroft marks in the pocket, kicks it back to fullback for Answorth, and again the Lions trying to be precise with this ball movement from defence. Answorth hands it to co-captain Dunkley, kicks it to Jared Berry, marks it defensive 50, plays on under pressure, kicks it out in the full. Out on the full, and he was looking for Lachie Neale there. Neale's taking his time to argue the case here.
Yeah, he reckons it came off Watkins' foot.
And, you know, that even that argument, Lachie Neale has now conned the umpires and bought 10 seconds for his team to structure up. Because all the umpires are so scared of getting a line decision wrong these days, they stop and have a chat. And now it's hard for Horne-Francis looking to kick into a busy inside 50. Oh, he found a target, though. Durden dropped it in the pocket. Got to Durden, had a go at a chest mark. Couldn't latch onto it or clutch onto it at the same time. Berry, that's Jared with the clearing kick, but only to Horne-Francis. I'm getting it mumbled here, Pricey, your turn.
Oh, Horne-Francis, beautiful kick into the path
sharp
of Burgoyne, and 45 metres out, he takes a mark on his chest.
Just on that, see, this is a thing that the older senior players in the game are doing now. With the line decisions, they're willing to argue the toss because the umps don't tell them to be quiet, let's get on. They're so worried about a mistake being found out, and it allows defenders longer time to set up.
Professional smartness, that one.
So, Jace Burgoyne, little skip step. He crosses the 50 paint and absolutely drills it. Nice kick. And puts Port just a little bit closer. 8-9-57, play 6-9-45. Back to that 2-goal margin, 20 and a half gone to the third quarter.
I thought it would open up.
His kicking is great to watch, isn't he? His field kicking, he goes beautiful little darts off 2 steps.
He's just a footballer. He's a footballer's footballer. He's strong, he's fast, he can play the game, reads the game, hold up in tackles. He's a star.
He's yet to reach 100 games as well. You've sort of got to think twice about that.
Yeah, and he looks older than he's doing with that mustache.
And he's been a good player for a long time. He's been a good player for 98 games. But he's only 23 years of age.
Right out of the gate too.
So with Josh Carr building this squad, boy, he's going to have an even more important role. Port keeping in this. 2 goals to lead to Brisbane. 21 minutes third term. Stoppage in the middle. Sweet again with a tap down to advantage as well. Bergman rides a bump to win the ball. Hand pass not great though. Pinch by 4 to Brisbane. Dink kick to half forward. Rayner had it spoiled away but roved by McKenna. Hands to half forward where Rayner receives. Hands it to Bailey. On the run for 3. Bailey's got it. Precise for his 3rd goal. And back-to-back goals for Zach Bailey. Brisbane back out by 3 goals. 9-9 to 6-9.
That's just that little turnover. They looked like they were out, Port. And then a couple little sharp handballs. You had Cam Rayner, who's said all day he's looked dangerous, and he has been creative. I don't know what his score involvements are, but he has been in everything.
He's got 5, Acker.
5, and that looks like he's had 5. Great little handball then in the end. He had 3 blokes. He drew them in, and there it is again, Zach Bailey. Wonderful kick on the run. So straight.
On the SMS, g'day to Paul in Darwin. He says, hi Q and the experts. Paul's very confident the Lions are going to win today at home and also make the finals. Thanks, enjoying your call. Good on you, Paul. 0437
prediction, that one.
774.
He's really outdone himself, Paul. There you go. Off hands now. Oh, this bloke's all class. Horn Francis explodes away, and what a good set of hands. Mitch Georgiadis. The kick was beautiful, but Georgiadis had to take that under enormous pressure from Leicester, and he takes the mark 45 out, and it's a 45-degree angle to the left.
What a kick, Manny. What a kick.
Beautiful again. Great hands, great lead. And they've been through the last 10 minutes. It looked like the game was getting away from them, but they've been able to answer back every time Brisbane looked like they're about to stretch that lead a bit further.
And also Horn Francis, 5 score involvements. That's how important and big he's been today.
So Georgiadis. Deliberate approach. Let's go from just inside 50 and strikes it magnificently. Gets his second goal, and they just will not go away, Port Adelaide. 9-9-63, play 7-9-51. 2 goals the margin, the Lions lead. 23 and a half gone to the third quarter on ABC Sport.
We'll say one thing about Port's goals, Jace and Maddie. So that's 7 for Port, of which I have 5 credited from the 50-metre arc. So they're having to earn them from high. They're not getting many looks deep. So 5 of the 7 have been kicked from basically 50 metres out.
How important is the centre square clearances? Because it's just gone down, bang. And then Lions, bang. And Port Adelaide, bang. Just out of the centre squares. It's getting more important as the game opens up, I think, Matty.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, if the Power can just get a bit of a run on here, it'll make the Gabba nervous. Here we are, getting close to three-quarter time. And the 2-time reigning champs are only 2 goals to the good. It's been tight throughout. Draper wins that tap in the middle, down to Rayner, but he's swamped by 2 tacklers immediately. Bergman and Horn Francis all over him. Baller. They've been great at the contest, the Power. Thrown in the air. Draper taps that one down. Horn Francis got a handball to Wines. Not a great kick to half forward. Up and down the chimney. Goes to Deck. Tunstall fumbles it for Brisbane to the advantage of McKenna. Rush kick from the centre of the ground, rolls into the pocket. Morris there for Brisbane, Zerk Thatcher for Port. Zerk Thatcher gathers, Morris gathers him. Baller.
Done a great job, Zerk Thatcher. He normally gets held out. He's the 3rd or 4th best defender with a few injuries, but done a good job on Morris today.
Umpire throws it up quickly. Congestion, Will Ashcroft, handball, Charlie Cameron from the boundary line, outside of the right boot to the top of the square. Lohman plays on, curls it around, and the showman gives it to the crowd for his second goal. Boy, that was some tight work on the boundary line. Brilliant effort from Charlie Cameron to bring it back on the outside of the right boot. Lohman flew, gathered at the landing, and then hooked it around for his second goal. The Lions out to that 3-goal margin, 10-9-69 to 7-9-51.
I don't think he thought it was his mark, because obviously Alir got his hands on it as well, and he was in front for a second there, but just played on, ducked around. Good goal there with love the blonde hair.
Who would have thought the bobbing and weaving, sort of going back on the boot to snap in the goal mouth? That shades of 2002 J. Ackermanis MCG last quarter v Collingwood about it.
Yeah, well, I had
with a ripped, what was it, a ripped quad at that stage?
Just torn the adductor off the bone. They're good fun. I highly recommend that you go through that one.
Zane in a moment, centre stoppage. Draper gallops clear. He gets the half forward. Big ball from the ruckman. It's a highlight from Sam Draper. Doesn't he love a gallop and a long ranger? He's been beaten today, but he's owned his moment there. Sam Draper with a booming, ranging goal from 55. And the Lions are out by a game-high 4 goals. And Matt Primus has whipped out his ruckman's union card and shown it all around the box with pride. What a goal.
Absolutely, absolutely. Boy, the run, he hasn't done much today with that running power and then just the confidence from 50. I love his reaction. He just puffed the chest out once a goal, walked towards the crowd like, hey, I'm the man. And, well, we know ruckman are the men. So
yeah, they are.
Beautiful answer, though.
So important. That's one way to win your centre square clearance.
Yep.
Grabs it. breaks Ollie Wines' tackle, runs, and he put that big strides in. He got the ball drop was nearly near his chest.
Oh, it's the dictionary definition of if it is to be, it's up to me, Sam Draper. But this time, Wines gets it back to Drew, who drills it into the path of Georgiadis on the lead. He got separation from Gallup and took it 45 out, more or less directly in front.
This is ridiculous, Pricey. Centre square clearances, haven't they been taking advantage? Efficiency, you can't get any better than this.
It was, and Sweet turned around and gave it back to Draper. He said, well, you just kicked a goal, but he just did a great tap to rely to then. A bit of tick for tack going on. I love it.
So Georgiadis starts his run up in the centre square. He's got a couple. Leans back on it and pushes it left. The crowd love it. 75 plays 52. 23 points the margin in favour of Brisbane.
3 misses left for Georgiadis in this quarter. Wilmot short to Andrews in the pocket. Andrews with a long kick to right half back and a pack. Rayner the target spot away from him. Wines comes in for Port. Shunts a handballs to Bammett. Bammett kicks out in the full. It's pressured by Fletcher and it'll be a free kick to Harry Laconic Andrews.
I think he's giving it back to
Georgiadis kick for the year. Q, goals and points.
Sorry?
Georgiadis,
yeah.
37 goals, 40 before today. 2 goals for today.
2-4.
So that's 39-44 for the year.
Fletcher received the short pass at fullback, kicks it back to the opposite pocket. Wilmot marks, gives back to Fletcher. Brisbane sharing it deep in defence. Lead by 23 points, kicks it back to the smooth man of the South. Andrews with a short pass to Will Ashcroft. Kicks it back to Harry Laconic. You always love using the term Laconic, and his name is Harris, and we know Harry Laconic Jr. He's the smooth mover, isn't he? The smooth sounding from down south. Wilmot, are they going to kick it beyond defensive 50? Yeah, bit of Sharesies and now flares wide. Tunstall at half back. He spears it around the wing. Great pass. Now they're moving forward the lines, although Lester Marks kicks infield to Dunkley. Held up by young O'Brien. Crowd thought it was 50. Umpire thought otherwise. Dunkley short to Lester, and once again the Porter behind the ball.
Chip forward now. Bailey in front of the Lions bench, which is holding up the 90 seconds to go sign. Bailey wheels around to the right of the mark now. Whistle has gone on play. What is going on here?
That is not how you umpire.
Oh, so Bailey actually played on, wheeled around to the right of the mark, and is made to go back and kick over the mark from just forward of centre wing. Aaliyah standing the mark.
That makes no sense at all. That's
Wouldn't
not even a
just
rule.
Play on?
Yeah, don't understand it. Quizzical looks all across the bench here in the ABC Sport commentary box. It's chipped forward now to Neil. Neil inside 50 and floating across the front of the lead was Logan Evans for Port Adelaide to cut it off.
So an important minute here, particularly for Port, not to concede another goal. 23 the lead to Brisbane. Powell with the ball in the back line. Marshall receives the ball from Zerk Thatcher on a short pass. In turn transfers to Drew. Is that a bit of a quiet day, Willem Drew? Although touch 16. Short pass. Oh, it was looking for O'Brien. Had it punched away from him by Tunstall. Gathered by McCluggage, 45 from goal. Breaks a tackle. Spears a ball wide where he's got Fletcher in space. Fletcher plays on to Will Ashcroft in the pocket. And Ashcroft marks. And it depends on how long he takes here, but he might be kicking as the three-quarter time siren sounds, Will Ashcroft.
Yeah, that kick just needed to be long down the line, wide for Port Adelaide, get a stoppage at worst rather than a dangerous inside 45 kick that might cost him a goal.
I turn that over. And again, just like Port, got a generator shot late in the quarter.
Tough angle for Will Ashcroft. 40 out, right half forward. Oh, what a brilliant drop punt. Right on the three-quarter time siren. Will Ashcroft kicks his second goal. And it was just the confidence of the way he measured his run-up, didn't overstrike the ball, and it never deviated from centre. Brilliant set shot finish. Brisbane's lead at the final change is 29 points. The Lions 12 goals, 9, 81 to Port 7, 10, 52. So biggest margin in the game. Brisbane led by 7 at quarter time, 9 at half time. So in that quarter, Brisbane kicked 7 goals, 1 in the end. And Port only kicked the 3 goals 5. 7-1 to 3-5 in the third quarter in favour of the hosts and defending premiers. And Brisbane go to three-quarter time with a 29-point lead. 12-9-81 to 7-10-52. That was Will Ashcroft's second goal. Zach Bailey has 3. Kai Lohmann also has 2. Cam Rayner has 2. And single goals to Logan Morris and Charlie Cameron. While for Port Adelaide, Mitch George, and I've missed one, Sam Draper. Oh, how could I have not put that one down? Sam Draper, of course, kicked a great goal in that third quarter. For Port, 2 for Georgiades, and singles 2. Marshall, Burgoyne, Vicentini, and Durden. And Horn Francis as well. Pricey helping me get all of those picket fences in the self-written footy form guide here. 29 the lead to Brisbane. Repeating, we're not far away from St Kilda and North Melbourne. Late change to the Saints. Dan Butler playing with Cooper Sharman out for St Kilda. If the Saints win, they'll go to 10th. If North win, they'll probably go to 10th. If they win by anything better than a squeak there. Big game in the context of those teams and their wildcard chances. The call's available on ABC Listen. You can toggle between the 2 AFL buttons to either listen here at the Gabba or at Docklands. Around the grounds in the NRL, 2 games today, and the first of them 52 minutes old. Gold Coast 20 leads St George Illawarra 12. Later on, it's Manly against Cronulla. NRL available on the green button on ABC Listen. Three-quarter time at the Gabba. Brisbane lead by 29 points. It's Sunday footy on ABC Sport.
Some invitations are just too good to refuse, like conversations in the kitchen with our most prominent politicians. Surprises aplenty.
New Kitchen Cabinet with Annabelle Crabb. Streaming now on ABC iView.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Bailey comes away from the throw-in. 2 steps, gets to 45 and nails a running goal. 2 for Zach Bailey. And Brisbane out to a 3-goal lead. Bailey comes away from the throw-in. 2 steps, gets to 45 and nails a running goal. 2 for Zach Bailey. And Brisbane out to a 3-goal lead.
Oh, this bloke's all class. Horn Francis explodes away, and what a good set of hands. Mitch Georgiades, the kick was beautiful. Let's go from just inside 50 and strikes it magnificently. Gets his second goal, and they just will not go away, Port Adelaide.
Zane in a moment, centre stoppage. Oh, Draper gallops clear. He gets the half forward. Big ball from the ruckman. It's a high one from Sam Draper. Doesn't he love a gallop and a long ranger? He's been beaten today, but he's owned his moment there. Sam Draper with a booming, ranging goal from 55. And the Lions are out by a game-high 4 goals. Tough angle for Will Ashcroft. 40 out, right half forward. Oh, what a brilliant drop punt. Right on the three-quarter time siren.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
The Lions have made the move in the third quarter here at the Gabba. Hope you're enjoying the contest. Quentin Hull bringing you the action from a sun-drenched Brisbane cricket ground in the suburb of Wollongabba, which is why it's colloquially known as the Gabba. Not many people know that the correct name of this venue is the Brisbane Cricket Ground. Nonetheless, it's a 29-point lead for the Tenants over the visitors. Brisbane 12-9-81, Port 7-10-52. The progressions look like this. Brisbane by 7 at quarter time, by 9 at half time. And that third quarter, the most high scoring of the game, but Brisbane getting the better of it, 7-3. Matt Primus, I'd love your thoughts as to what changed. It seemed as longer the quarter went there, eventually that heat and congestion around the contest, it was coming out more quickly and Brisbane able to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, it was, Q, and it's probably what we spoke about at half-time, the way Port were playing. It's hard to continue to keep a team condensed and keep them in and keep it a contest, and the game really opened up in that third quarter. 7 goals to Brisbane, 3 goals, 5 to Port Adelaide. So teams were scoring off centre bounce, the game started to open up, and it was just too hard to keep them inside all the time. And unfortunately, if you can't do that with Brisbane, they're going to make you pay very quickly. And as we mentioned through that third quarter, the class got on top, especially in their forward line, where they've got so many avenues to goal, especially their small started to get a hold of them. And Port had their opportunities. They still had 8 shots and goal themselves, but weren't able to capitalise with some accurate shots. And hopefully the game continues to open up, because it's a lot better spectacle in that third quarter compared to what was in the first half. But if Port allow the game to open up more, you can see this scoreboard starting to blow out.
By the way, sorry, Jace, there's another late change at Docklands that's just come through. Rowan Marshall's out for the Saints, back spasm. So that's a big out for St Kilda. Anthony Caminiti has come in, so that just coming through in the warm-up.
A big out
for the Saints. Sorry, Jace.
Coning's still out too, isn't he? So.
What have they got left here, Port? I mean, that was terrific. This is a terrific game as we start the final quarter.
So it's Draper versus Sweet. Call it a draw. It drops between the two big ruckmen. It's picked up there by Jace Burgoyne, and he's immediately tackled by Draper. Held up in the centre circles. Sweet was behind, but got a nice tap down. It was picked up there by McKenna, tackled by Moraes. Still inside the centre square, but closer to this commentary wing. Umpire throws it up in the shade as it's crept over towards the corridor. Off hands Moraes, tackled into the ground by Zorko. He had prior, it's red hot, but he did have prior opportunity. So Zorko with the free kick.
Just defensive side of the bullseye, kicks wide to right, half forward. Will Ashcroft marks in front of Burne-Jones, plays on with a hand pass to Berry, gives it back to Will Ashcroft from 55, a cute kick to the top of the goal square. Hipwood nudged underneath it by Zirk Thatcher. Sweet comes into Rove. He's tackled, got it in one hand, got rid of it just, and a dumping tackle from Hipwood. He didn't like it, Sweet. I was watching the tangle, and now a Lions kicked the goal.
Yeah, Logan
Who was
Morris.
it? Logan Morris. My apologies for... I was distracted there.
Right.
I didn't follow the ball because we've already had one line in trouble for a dump tackle today, and Big Sweet got into Eric. So can someone who saw that describe how Brisbane's gone to a 35-point lead?
Oh, well, that was going on. The ball has spilled out. That pressure was on. Sweet, very lucky because he had that one hand out, which is danger. But it bobbled forward. There was a couple of Port players. Logan Morris just beautiful. Picked it up, a snap over the shoulder. He's deadly at the moment off one step.
As we often say, we're married to the ball as broadcasters, but there I went with the story. I thought there was a story developing there, Matt. Is there anything in that?
Nah, there was fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Push and shove there for a couple of 200-centimetre people.
So 13-9-87 to 7-10-52.
Can I say it's the hardest place to kick goals at that end this time of year.
So
the sun, it's right in the wrong spot.
Well, Port will get this clearance through Burgoyne. It got to the arc, beautifully picked up by Big Whitlock, who got down around these ankles to pick it up, but the handball was cut off by Brisbane. McLuggage, his kick was pressured and was a beautiful dummy from Levi Ashcroft. Handball to Fletcher to Answorth, and Fletcher got it back from Answorth, went straight up the middle, and it was well controlled by Dunkley in the end. Just the one arm and then brought it down. He flares it just beyond centre wing. Lohman kicks it to left half forward to Rayner. He's 60 from goal. Drops it into the pocket looking for the lead of Logan Morris. Zirk Thatcher got there first. He gathered but was tackled into the ground by Lohman. It spilled towards Rayner. Handball to Neal. Subterranean kick towards Zorko. Bounced off his chest. Picked up by Moraes. He gets a handball away. Knocked over to Joe Berry. He gets it back to Burgoyne. Tackled into the ground by both Dunkley and Levi Ashcroft. And the umpire will ball it up between wing and left half forward.
Bit of a coat hanger from Cam Rayner.
It was.
In the background there. Draper and Sweet tangle. Give that to Sweet, who gathered after the ball bounced from the ball up. Kicks it to the wing, but Lester meets it first for Brisbane. Wonderful hand pass infield to McCluggage. Hands to Answorth, hands to Will Ashcroft in the bullseye. Kicks Brisbane to the lead of Morris. Marks on his chest, 40 from goal.
That is some kick, Q. He was watching that pair, and Morris just held him back, and that kick had to be in front where it was. That's a beautiful way to kick, and allowed Morris to push off his opponent and get that pretty much uncontested. Brilliant kick.
So Logan Morris up to 46 goals for the year with his 2 today. 53 last season, and has got his sights on back-to-back leading goal-kicking titles here at the Lions. needs to kick it. Oh, he's mishit that. That's a Steve Kernahan perfection. If you know your 90s football, late 80s football, sticks used to kick him and they were ugly, but they went straight. That is a terrible hit, which has gone to the middle of the fairway. Straight through the middle from Morris. He's third. 14 goals, 9.93 to 7.10.52. The Lions are now out by 41.
You had a giggle of that. That was a Michael Voss special, used to kick those.
Voss used to kick a few of those too?
They're those helicopters that roll forward. How you do it is a miracle. I don't even know how you can put it on your foot that way, but it's gone that far outside the right post, maybe a metre, and swung all the way back in. Oh, you had a giggle. You should have a giggle. That was a terrible kick.
Getting a shot on the big screen, laughing at himself.
So all of a sudden the Lions by 41 points, nearly 5 gone to the final term here at the Gabba, and the crowd find full voice. Off hands taken by Dunkley, who's tackled into the ground by Burgoyne, and just beside the bullseyes the umpire will throw it up again. Sweet v Draper. It's been a great battle. Sweet has got the ascendancy again off the boot of Burgoyne to centre half forward. Off hands, Durden couldn't pick it up. Jasper Fletcher could. He turned it over. Durden grabbed it, and in turn he's grabbed and taken into the ground by Gallop. And the umpire will throw it up. 45 out from the Port Adelaide goal.
Brisbane's kicked the last 5 goals in the game to take control here. Sweet. Clean possession, arm held, but got it to his boot only. Kicked it to Jared Berry of Brisbane. Clears half back with a kick to the middle of the ground. No line to meet it though. Lockie Jones picks up for Port. Ham passes to Lai through the bullseye, runs and hands to Moraes. Moraes turns and kicks to full forward. Leicester gets rid of Georgiades and takes the mark at full back. Plays on quickly with a chip pass to a diving Lohman, who takes the grab on defensive 50. Great contest there from the old Frog in his 16th season. Too good one-on-one for Georgiades.
He's quicker than you think. He's strong there.
Lohman kicks to half-back. Andrews marks uncontested. Kicks to the wing for his former co-captain in Neil. Kicks infield. Lohman had his arms chopped by Moraes, or front on contact. Play onto advantage. Rayner hands to Zorko. Zorko chips to McCluggage. Marks at 40 from goal. And the Lions are starting to run downhill now.
And it's about, he's been in horrible form since he came back. He hasn't got much of the footy suitcases, but he's having a good day today. This is his best game for a good couple of months, I reckon, Matty.
Well, only 12th game of the year. Sorry to cut you off, Matt, but I did those numbers. He's averaged 17 disposals a game this year. His All-Australian year was 27 disposals on average last year. McCluggage with the right boot. That'll make him feel good, though. He's kicked the goal. And that's now 6 unanswered for Brisbane and a 47-point lead. And they are headed on a path to locking down that spot in the top 4 at the end of round 20.
Oh, absolutely. And percentage-wise, too, it's certainly going to help them if they can keep Port score down. But, yeah, the game, like it was in that third quarter, is just opened right up now. And it's just getting really hard for Port to be able to stop their fast ball movement, and that's their ninth goal kicker. That is their strength. They just have so many avenues, whether it's their talls, their midfielders, or their small forwards, so many avenues to goal. And eventually, they're on target for 60 plus inside 50s. If you give a team with that much talent, they're going to kick a big score against Jericho.
And Port now in jeopardy of worsening that statistic. They've had a lot of narrow losses. Their worst loss, interestingly enough, was round 1, 46 points to North. 47 behind.
Sweet got it down for Port Adelaide, but Darcy Fort retreated and got his hands to the ball first. It ricocheted into the path of Burgoyne. From inside the centre square, he launched a bomb, but it went wide. It's out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a free kick in the right back pocket. It'll go to Jasper Fletcher. It's the Lions by a game high, 47 points right now.
Kicks to Andrews in the left back pocket. Marks uncontested. Kicks to Levi Ashcroft. Uncontested mark at half-back. Infield on the 45 to Wilmot. Again, an uncontested grab as Wines stands the mark. Reckon he'll go around again, Ollie Wines? Wilmot chips short to Bailey. He kicks it back to Andrews. What do you reckon, Matt?
Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah.
Especially with where they are, Port Adelaide at the moment. I think it adds a lot of value.
Fletcher now receives a fullback. They switch from left half-back to right half-back. Zorko marks in the sun. Infield on the 45 over the head of McCluggage. And it bounces in the bullseye. Met by Levi Ashcroft, though. Shares it with his brother. Will receives. Chips to Morris. Morris marks 40 out on a 45-degree angle to the right. And now there's just a little ripple in the bicep as the Premiers flex. And Morris chips it to the pocket. Eric Hipwood takes the grab in the sunshine.
These are the ones he kicks to, Eric. He misses the ones in front. Although this year has been such a different year for him.
Well, it's only his 6th game of the season.
Good to see him back.
Eric Hipwood, hard on the boundary, right forward pocket. Preferred side for his left foot. He's opening up the snap punt from 35 metres out. Couple of steps infield. Hits it well. That's a good finish. Eric Hipwood joins the party for Brisbane. They're pumping the power now. That's 7 goals in a row for the Premiers. They cracked the ton. 16-9-105 to 7-10-52. 9 minutes final turn.
Not sure why he passed it off there, Logan Morris. But anyway, unselfish over there to Eric. Glad he kicked it. And I think Logan's probably glad he kicked it. That said again, Matty, in the centre square, they have been... If you get beaten there, you are up against it, no matter how good you are. It's been so efficient, both teams get once they get out of there, and it's just starting to turn against Port.
Yeah, the scores have come pretty heavily in the second half from those areas where it was more just quick kicks. Both teams have been able to stream out of it, whoever wins that first possession, and Brisbane's certainly there on that occasion.
He's 29 touches so far also for Suitcases, so he's having a day out. He's having a much better day than he has been the last, all year.
Back into the middle, Darcy Fort goes up against Sweet. Sweet won it. Burgoyne, handball backwards to Horn Francis. Inside 50, and Marshall takes the front position against Gallup. The ball dipped, and it favoured Marshall. He took it on his chest, 45 out, slide angle to the right.
It's a good mark.
Another centre bounce goal.
Another one.
Shot on goal.
Shot on goal, yeah. It's just amazing. It's so efficient. I mean, not every game goes like this, and not every team can do this, but both sides, so efficient. He's a beautiful set shot too, so you'd think he'd kick this. I'm backing him.
He's got one today. Jason Ackermanis is backing him. Todd Marshall absolutely drills it.
Easy stuff.
Good call, Acker. Second goal for Todd Marshall and reduces the margin. It's back to 47 points. The Lions 16-9-105. It's Port Adelaide 8-10-58. We played 11.5 in the final term.
Game is underway at Docklands. St Kilda and North Melbourne. The Saints 2 straight 12 lead North 2 behinds. 2 late changes there. Apparently they ran through the banner before they realised that Rowan Marshall was no good and Anthony Caminiti had to come in. That was after... who was it? Dan Butler came in for Cooper Sharman. So 2 late changes for the Saints, but they've started well. Saints 2 straight, North 2 behind. The majority of you will get to that game. If you want to hear it right now, it's available on ABC Listen. 47 points is the lead to Brisbane here. 12 minutes into the last quarter. Ball tossed up in the middle. It's Fort and Visentini. Fort gets clean possession for Brisbane. Bangs the lines into attack. Great mark from Lai, 5th into a 2-on-2. He left his man, got to the front of the pack and takes the mark. Just forward a fullback for Port. Runs on. Right foot kick towards the wing. Jasper Fletcher most likely in the pack there to mark. Couldn't mark, but Tunstall Roves. Hands to Fort, hands to Neil. Oh, he breaks the congestion. Neil with a hand pass back to Fletcher on the flank. Kicks it to the pocket for Morris. Marks it on his chest in front of Aaliyah. Near the boundary line, 30 from goal.
That was
behind that one.
As Dennis Cometti would say, that was centimetre perfect. It was just, you couldn't have placed that ball any better.
It was dead straight. He ran straight, kicked straight, beautiful kick. Now what's he going to do? He will go around the corner there, Logan. And he's still hobbling. That's it.
He got clattered into early in the day, didn't he? But he's got 3 on the day, Logan Morris. Up to 47 for the season. 45 metres out. He'll need good purchase on the kick. It's curled onto the line and punched through for a point. Brisbane by 48. Zane Bojack on the boundary.
Yeah, Corey Durden's got a blood nose. He had a bit of claret coming out of it. They're trying to stuff as much packing in there as they can to stop the flow.
And here's a turnover. They've turned it over. And
yep, Dunkley has intercepted. He's on the logo at right half forward on the paint of 50.
This distance, any Macca?
No, but
flat no.
They have struggled. That's the last thing you want when you're a Port power player, is the turnover coming out of your back.
I'm giving him a chance to kick in the distance, but maybe 3 rows back in the pocket.
3 goals, 6 for the year. Josh Dunkley from 52 metres. Oh, boy, that is a sack. Oh, it's dropped at the top of the goal square. And that's the beauty of playing in front. Kai Lohmann.
Look at his teammates.
He took the mark, and the Brisbane Lions teammates run to Josh Dunkley like he absolutely laced Lohmann out. It was a flower sack. So Kai Lohmann, the showman, from point-blank range, kicks his third and extends that lead back to 53 points, 17-10. Sorry, it's 54 points now. 17-10, 112 to 8-10, 58. It's a game-high lead, and we've played just over 14 minutes of this final term.
A couple of very questionable ball drops. That was terrible.
Oh, and Port, can I say, so they were within 2 goals, 24 minutes of the third quarter. Here we are 14 minutes into the fourth, and it's a 9-goal lead.
It's 12 goals 2 they've kicked in the second half. 12 goals 2. That's,
I'll do that to you.
Yep.
Brisbane, tweak it up.
So the context with Adelaide losing and Melbourne losing earlier in the round, Brisbane win. They go a game ahead of 5th and 6th, so a game clear in 4th. And that's the way it's played out. The 2-time reigning champs just getting closer to that double chance in 2026. Centre stoppage. Clearance out the back for Port, but Lai got tackled by Dunkley. Hand pass came free, but pinched by Bailey of Brisbane. Hands it to Cameron on 50. Cameron hands it to McKenna. He's 45 out, weaves in field. Oh, a little Irish kick over his head. Looked for Cameron in the pocket, couldn't mark. Hipwood Rove, centering kick. Marked by Bergman in the last line of defence, and Bergman clears for Port.
Boy, that was some skill from Connor McKenna.
Pressure.
It was Bamut who took the mark. His extracting kick was made it a contest between Burgoyne and Lohmann, and they conspired to take it over the boundary line. Or is there going to be a conference? No, the umpire will throw it in at right half forward.
Kyle was just trying to lull him into, no, let's play on. It didn't go
yeah, I wouldn't mind kicking another one, said Lohmann. The umpire throws it in. It's a very short throw in. Darcy Ford in front of Sweet, got it down, picked up by Lockie Neal. His little sand wedge made it into the arms of Bailey. He juggled it. Again, Aki, you'd love that distance.
That was 4.5 metres.
Well, the man on the mark has just stepped over the paint. Zerk Thatcher. And Bailey, he's taken the run up. He's just forward of centre wing on the edge of the centre square. Man on the mark standing just outside the paint. Zach Bailey takes off, goes left, goes right, has a shimmy, and then drops it onto the left foot to the top of the goal square. Fisted forward. It's going to be rowed by Charlie Cameron. Confronted. Rayner gathered. He's tackled. Got the handball away. Ashcroft floating one towards the goal line. It bounces straight across the face. Gathered by Lohmann. Gets around one. Subterranean handball to Hipwood. And his handball is cut off there beautifully. It's taken away by Watkins. Tackled as he extracts the ball. It's coming back. Dunkley kicks a floater towards... Charlie Cameron takes a Mark of the Year contender. An absolute belter in the goal square, and once again the teammates get around Josh Dunkley for that floating sack as Charlie kicks it through for his second. What a grab. And extends the lead to a game high 10 goals. 18-10, 118 to 8-10, 58. I have not seen Charlie Cameron get that high for many a year.
What about there is one, he's right in the shadow. You can't see it. Like there's a shadow that comes across the ground. It's like from a post somewhere.
Light pole.
And he's taken that mark right in the middle of that shadow. So hard to see, but what a hang. You love that. Got the run, got the jump, got the ride. Again, with Josh, at least that one spun backwards.
He knew it too, Chuckles. As soon as he took the mark, he was roaring into light. At another highlight in his 200th game as a Lion. 10 goals, the lead. John Denver continues as Rayner gets the clearance in the middle, handed to Neal. He's tackled and turned it over. Bergman made the tackle. Hand pass went to Wines. Wines for the Port. Hands it on the edge of the centre square, or a fumbling effort there from Zatto. Tapped it to the advantage of Burn-Jones. Hands it to the wing for Burgoyne. And he finally chips it to half foot on the head of Bergman. Spoiled away by Fletcher. Oh, no, it's coming all the way back.
Yeah.
There was a tangle between Burne-Jones and Raider, 30 metres away from the football. And
Jesus.
The Port Hyphen number 33 is going to get the free kick. Kicks it to half forward, looking for Lai, went beyond him, and Zatto draws high contact. Was it? Yes. Free kick against Will Ashcroft. 55 from goal. Zatto kicks wide to Wines. 55 from goal. Wines to the pocket, and Zerk Thatcher gone down there to take a grab.
Is that Sweet?
No, it's Visentini. Visentini.
Sounds like some kind of overseas Milo. What a name.
No, you're thinking of Ovaltine.
I am.
Which is actually Ovaltine.
Ovaltine, yes.
Dante Visentini. No, it actually sounds like he's a Ferrari Formula One driver.
Absolutely.
It's a cool name.
It's a good.
I like it.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's not Italian, then.
Well, Port need something just to save a bit of face here. Visentini for Port Adelaide.
Good kick.
Great kick. He split the middle from a tough angle, 40 metres out at right half forward. 2 for Dante Visentini. And Brisbane's lead is 9 goals at 18-10 to 9-10, 20 minutes final term. Meanwhile at Docklands, about 5 minutes left in the first quarter there. St Kilda 3-2-20 lead North 1-3-9.
Had a mate text me, Tim Tazoo won too, the boxing.
Oh, he did?
Points.
One on points.
Okay.
That's a big result.
Well, big result for pay TV providers who actually got a decision on points. So it meant the destiny.
Yes, never goes that long.
No.
Look at their money's worth.
Considering one of the undercards got cancelled. The bloke turned up 4.5.
I reckon undercard is the most sporting appropriate name for boxing.
We can dive deeper.
It's almost onomatopoeic. Oh no, that's not the right word. What's the word I'm thinking of? Something that describes itself.
Exactly right.
Not sounds like itself.
We get off hands. It's Horn Francis kicks it to centre half forward. Darcy Wilmot gathered. He did a full 360 and then some before he got a kick away. It was a great little tackle there by Durden. Crowd don't like it, but he did eventually get his boot to it, but he did that full 360 and plenty more. So Corey Durden will have a shot.
Could have got a free kick about 4 times over there. He was holding on, Durden, but he'll take it.
Directly in front, but he'll have to strike it just before the 50 arc. Does so. Strikes it nicely, though. Absolutely beautifully, but Draper got to the line as Harris Andrews puts the double fist in the air to celebrate. A spoil through from Sam Draper to Russia behind. 118 plays 65.
Aaron's in the studio for us and has helped me out. So that's an autological word. Also called a homological word, a word which describes a property that it also possesses. As a, onomatopoeic is a boom or a crash.
Oh, yes.
A word that sounds like itself. But yeah. So thank you for that, Aaron. I knew I was somewhere in the linguistics.
On the ABC radio, you just think...
Okay, I tell you, you should be paying us for expanding your language.
I should.
Gallup's got the ball on the wing for Brisbane. This game is one-way traffic, but fans here want more highlights. Lohman has a fly, can't mark, but Roves brilliantly handballs over his head to Neil. 40 metres out, the champ! Defied by the bounce of the Sharon. It pitched 3 metres from the goal mouth in the middle of the big sticks, but took a Nathan Lyon off break and missed. It's a point, 9 goals the lead, 8-11 to 9-11. 18-11 to 9-11.
Oh, it's brought back in. It's a scrubbing kick around the ankles of Aaliyah, picked up by Neil. He gave it back to Lohman by hand, and then he intercepted back, did Aaliyah. The handball to the run of Logan Evans to the 50 arc, and that's another good mark. Boy, he's got some great hands as Georgiadis, hasn't he? It's been a great battle. He took it on the arc and then turned around and sizzled a pass inside 50, barely the required. Burne-Jones is the man who took the mark. He's got 35 out, slight angle to the right.
Georgiades, Big Zane didn't mention it. There could be a bit of problem with cramp. He looks like he's cramping up. Probably a good decision from him because he hasn't been real good in front of goals, Georgiades.
2 goals for today. As Darcy Burne-Jones, only the 4 goals for the year. Strikes it from 40. He keeps it low. Oh, the flying spoil came from Darcy Wilmot, and the crowd are celebrating all of those as the Lions bring it back in. 119 plays 66.
Must be that hot. He couldn't even make the distance from 38 metres.
Kick from Zorko from fullback. Hits Bailey at centre half back as Brisbane once again look to set up a foray forward. It's been a tough afternoon for them, but they're making hay late as Tunstall gathers on the wing and kicks it to Cameron. Charlie Cameron marks 30 metres out. And as mentioned, game 200 as a Lion. It was basically, David Noble, the former footy manager here, went on to coach North. He was one of the instrumental men in getting him across from his old club of Adelaide. Of course, played in that beaten grand final cause for the Crows a couple of years later. Became a Lion, and now in game 200 for Brisbane, Charlie Cameron kicks his third goal. Some way to celebrate an amazing career at the Gabba. Already a two-time premiership player here. And once again, that iconic sound of a moment that, well, it's the soundtrack of this successful era. John Denver for C. Cameron.
It's on my playlist.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very popular in my car.
1911 125 to 912 66, so 59's the lead. And everyone knows, I poo-pooed it at the start. I'm still not huge on songs at sport in celebration. But that being said, I'm not a popularist, but I can, as a commentator for a long time at this venue, say that this has now become as iconic as the Jay Ackermanis handstand of 20 years ago.
Wish you didn't have to wait all game for my handstand.
That's a good point. There's Jordan Sweet, extracts the ball out of the middle. It's cut off by Zorko at centre half back.
Barrel.
He immediately replies with a torpedo to right half forward. Lohman gathered on the bounce and then broke past two would-be tacklers. Handball to the runner Fletcher. Lowers the eyes. Hits Bailey 45 metres out directly in front. Party time at the Gabba.
It's going to be Portsworth's loss of the year.
Tiffany is going to actually try and kick this goal instead of playing on.
Well, Zach Bailey, 3 goals today.
Sharp. He's been sharp. And his kicking is beautiful on the run.
He'll have to get this one from 50. He's on a 45-degree angle to the right. Comes in off the long run-up. Let's go from the paint. Pushes it right, one behind. 60 points the margin, 126, plays 66. And we've played 26 and a half minutes of the final term on ABC Sport on a Sunday afternoon in front of 30,722 Gabba fans.
By the way, hearing that Errol Spence Jr. has retired after that fight, where Tim Zoo beat him in Sydney by unanimous decision.
I would have retired before the fight.
Yeah, but
Bergman runs through half-back, turns over his kick. Dunkley intercepts.
Get that paycheck first, Acker.
That's right. Ching ching. He went the whole round. Well, he went the whole match.
Yeah.
So.
Made
bout.
Yep. Dunkley, he chipped it forward to Neil. Neil ran 20 metres backwards to kick it all the way back to full back, where Ty Gallup receives. He'll be one of the storylines outside of the game. Maybe an unduly rough conduct charge against Heath, Georgiades anyway. Zorko had a kick turned over to the wing. Burgoyne intercepts, gives to Horn Francis, kick to the middle of the ground looking for a Lear, but Hipwood spores away from him. But then the bounce evades him. Sweet comes through to gather for Port, takes a bounce, fends away from Dunkley, fends away from Fort. Lazy slipper into it. Sweet kicks Port to full forward through the fingers of Marshall. Out the back it's Andrews to Rowe for Brisbane. Calmly as ever slots a hand pass to Fletcher. Chips it to Tunstall, and James Tunstall takes the mark. Short pass to Zorko, who's on defensive 50, and Dane Zorko moves it upfield.
He kicks it into the path, but too far ahead of Will Ashcroft. It's fisted back by Sweet towards Horn Francis. And he kicks it a little bit further wide, and it comes back in to Burn Jones. Burn Jones into the corridor. Goes over the head of Aaliyah, sets a task for Zirk Thatcher. It bounces past him. Nicely done by young O'Brien to get it. That 1 to handball with Aaliyah. He got it to Moraes, then goes back to Bergman from 50. Bergman launches towards goal and pushes it to the left, one behind. So 126 plays 67, 59 points the margin. The Lions lead late in the final quarter here at the Gabba.
Inside the final minute of action. Now keep your texts coming on 0437 774 774. We'll wrap this up. Get our thoughts from Matt and Jace, your thoughts as well. Of course, North Melbourne and St Kilda's underway. We'll take you there. Quarter time there, and the Saints lead by 16 points. As the Lions share it around in the back line, Levi Ashcroft has a touch. He kicks it to Bailey. We're waiting for that official announcement that he's going to stay in Brisbane. We're expecting it, but nothing as yet. Chips short to Will Ashcroft. Chips it to Cameron. He plays on, gets rugby league tackled around the ankles. Oh, but the ump says holding the ball. I thought that slipped down around the ankles. Ly's got it for Port. Kicks infield to Aaliyah, who takes the mark. His kick is smothered by the man on the mark. Neil comes back to Aaliyah. He chips to half forward, and mark is taken right on the siren by Watkins. He actually gets his kick away, but it doesn't get the journey. And Brisbane has won comfortably in the end. Port, once again, really competitive through the first half against one of the competition heavyweights, but unable to go the distance. And the Lions are a game clear in the top four, winning by 59 points. So the Lions have now won 7 games in a row, and that victory is their 13th win of the season. And when you weigh that up against the losses of Adelaide and Melbourne earlier in the round, it now sees Brisbane a game and percentage clear inside the top 4, while for Port, their 13th defeat of the season, and it's their heaviest, their worst since opening round, well, round 1 to be precise, Port's opening round when they lost by 46 points. They'd been in most games this season, and they were in this one for a half, but it blew out in the end. 59 points the margin. Brisbane kicking 14 goals to 5 after half-time. The Lions led by 7 points at quarter time, 9 at the half, and then third quarter, 7-1 to 3-5 for Brisbane, 29 the lead at three-quarter time. Last quarter, they kicked 7-3
to 2-3
to 2-3, 19-12, 126 to 9-13, 67. The goal kickers for Brisbane. In his 200th game as a Lion, Charlie Cameron was one of 4 players to kick 3 goals. Kai Lohmann, Logan Morris and Zach Bailey, the other 3. So a dozen between those 4 players. 3 each for Lohmann, for Morris, for Cameron, for Bailey. 2 for Will Ashcroft. 2 for Cam Rayner. And single goals to Hugh McCluggage, Eric Hipwood, and that's your 19.
Sam Draper.
And
how can you forget Sammy?
Again, Sam Draper. Yeah, that brilliant running goal. Out of the centre stoppage. For Port, Mitch Georgiades kicked 2, as did Dante Vicentini and Todd Marshall. So Marshall 2, Georgiades 2, Vicentini 2, a goal to Burgoyne, a goal to Horne-Francis, and a goal to Durden. So Brisbane go to Docklands to play Carlton next week. Port Adelaide hosts Greater Western Sydney, whose colours are charcoal and black, but they are the chameleons of the competition. Who's going to turn up next week for Greater Western Sydney after they were beaten handsomely by Sydney last night? Anyway, to matters here. How did the game change? Matt Primus and Jason Ackerman, legends of these clubs, great footy minds. They've kept their eye across it all day. Can you explain how it was only 9 points at half-time, yet 59 at the end?
Well, the biggest thing I just saw in Champion Day, that they keep that pressure rating stuff they have.
Oh, yes.
Brisbane's just as high as it has been all year for the whole game, where Port just dropped off after half-time. They weren't able to, as I said at half-time, they weren't able to just keep at them, which you have to, Brisbane. You've got to deny them time and space, and it's bloody hard work to do that to this team over 4 quarters, and they just couldn't do it. They could do it for a half, and then they just couldn't get the game on their terms at all. And then their ability to score 14 goals, 4 in the second half. But once Port's pressure died off, then the skill level just comes to the fore. Their great players become great players. They hit the scoreboard through the roof, and Port just didn't have enough talent or drive to be able to go with them when that dropped off a little bit, and that was the main aspect why the game blew out. And
the irony is they actually got better at the centre square. They got better around the ground in the second half, Port, but not good enough. The Lions' talent, like you said, the pressure couldn't. I mean, it's tough to be that good. And I think their game style, when they have that pressure, works well for Port. After half time, though, they just tweaked. They tried to hit the shorts more, Brisbane. Tried to really kind of open them up, make them more accountable. And, you can't defend all day. You do get tired doing that. And they just ended up opening up and getting some really good shots on goals and kicking them. That's what you have to do. Your good players played well. Charlie and his 200th for the club. It was a ripping day in front of the goals in the last quarter.
Harris Andrews is running in front of us. A few low fives to the fans and the members on the SMS. Thank you to Anne-Marie from Dandenong. Says, great call. Well done, Lions. Appreciate that. 0437 774 774. T from Melbourne texts. Shout out to Port, making me, brackets, a West Coast supporter, bracket, feel a little better after our game. Just living in 2018 and looking forward to the AFLW season getting through. I like this one too. Leanne from Cairns. Hello, Leanne. She texts, hi, Q and crew. I won my trivia quiz comp last week because I knew the words to Country Roads. Wow. Cheers, guys. And I think by texting us about that, Leanne, you're crediting Charlie Cameron for that. We had 3 John Denvers today and a bit of a flying mark.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah. Oh, that was a hanger.
And, we talk about not only his career, but I think he is probably, when you look back at what Chris Fagan has done for this club, start with the career of Charlie Cameron, because he looked spent. He looked like he was not up to AFL standard halfway through last year. He stuck with him, kicked, 4 in the grand final? And now he's back going again, Charlie Cameron, and looking every bit the 4-time leading goal kicker and 2-time All-Australian, who has been an integral part of this wonderfully consistent era for Brisbane.
The irony is he's so much better on defence. He makes way more tackles. So he's brought that and then got more on offence and kicking good goals. So that's the one part I know his teammates love, that he is making tackles and he's doing it up the field. You saw him, he actually got a couple of kicks in the back 50. Like, he's working hard, and that's what they've wanted for him for a while, but he deserves the goals he's kicked, and the work rate has stepped up. Not sure what else he's done because it wasn't there last year. I've got to tell you, some of his chasing pressure was awful.
And it's what you're always after, and he loves kicking goals. Then you sometimes you're unaware of what you've got to do to be able to be a good player when you don't have ball in hand, and he probably went through that period, but he's had a huge and great career, and Fags, as he does, he just works his way through those individual players and gets them through, and their ability. What's Charlie kicked this year, Bailey and Lohman?
Okay, so Charlie's kicked 41 as of today.
Yep.
Lohman's kicked a career high 39 as of today. And who was the other one you were after?
Bailey.
Logan
Bailey.
Oh, Bailey. We've got
29.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great return, isn't it? Like that.
Well, now Kai's kicking them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last 6 weeks.
Yep.
So, I mean, Charlie Cameron as well, 73 games, 87 goals for Adelaide, but he's played the 200 as of today for Brisbane. He's kicked 390, so he's almost good for 2 goals a game.
That is some record.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Lions are just leaving the field. Brisbane triumphing here by 59 points just before we get to Zane. Latest from Dockland, second quarter's underway. St Kilda, who had 2 late changes there. Marshall, a late out. And also Sharman out. So Butler and Caminiti coming in. No changes for North. St Kilda 4-3-27, lead North Melbourne 1-8.
They've missed some
14.
sitters, Q. Some absolute sitters, North Melbourne.
That's like the way they kicked in the 98 grand final against Adelaide. North Melbourne. Remember that? 1-8 for North Melbourne.
Under a roof.
Okay, Zano. Zane Bojack is in the familiar position. It's a familiar sight here at the Gabba, welcoming the Lions in as victors after another home win.
And it was big Sammy Draper that was the first through the gate here, Q, into the dressing room, just refreshing himself with some water. He deserves maybe a bit harder drink after that magnificent goal that he kicked early in that third quarter. Dane Zorko's offering little footballs to some of the little supporters that are in here. There's family members and there's little mascots, and, well, what a game it's been by the Lions today. They were challenged by this Port Adelaide team, but they responded. Cam Rayner's just having a chat with, what do you call him, Harry Laconic Harris? Andrews, I should say. He definitely deserves some celebratory sprays out of this. It's a bit slow getting together in the circle. Very, very relaxed. Charlie Cameron's getting some cuddles from Will Ashcroft and Levi here, and they're about to sing the song. Here we go. Song sung for the 7th straight week, Q. They've kicked over 100 points in 6 of those victories, and we'll hear from the man who kicked 3 goals too, and you were talking about his efforts upfield, Charlie Cameron, in just a moment.
Oh, Zane, you get your man again. You're on fire down there. Can't wait to have a chat to Charlie Cameron in a moment. Brisbane, 19 goals, 12, 126 to Port's 9, 13, 67. So, yeah, as mentioned with that live ladder, Brisbane is now only 2 premiership points behind Hawthorn, who is third, and a game behind the Swans, who are second. Of course, Freo well out in front. They're 3 games clear of Sydney. But that victory today, the Lions' percentage is now up to 120.6. That's 7% better than the Crows and 13% better than the D's, who both have the 48 premiership points. The Bulldogs have 48 premiership points as well, but they, again, in that weird scenario of not even being par, so to speak. They're 96.8, the Bulldogs. And this winning streak just continues to lay the platform to give the Lions another really good chance come September. Let's get back to Zane Bojack in the rooms with a Lion for the 200th time.
Yes, 200 times as a Lion, and picked up 3 more goals today. I think that takes you to 390 goals for the Brisbane Lions. Charlie Cameron, great to hear John Denver 3 times out there today. They were tough early, weren't they, Port Adelaide? They didn't go away.
Yeah, we knew their first half was pretty good, so we probably had to match them there. They're a quality side. We knew it was a tough battle, but obviously that heat out there was pretty hot. I'm not going to lie, 1 o'clock game is pretty hot, so great conditions, but I feel like we just played our way and stuck to our process the whole way and ended up pulling away there in the last quarter.
It's always tough coming back from Perth as well, Charlie. Was there a little bit of reservation there of energy early because you did have that long trip?
Not really. I think we're professional athletes, so I think it's just more adapting to the game, and I felt like their first half, the first quarter was unbelievable, so we had to match them, especially like last week they played Freo, matched them over there, so at Adelaide, so they're a quality side and doesn't show them on the win-loss, but they're actually a pretty good side and up and coming.
All right, well, I'm going to hand you over to our panel, Jason Ackermanis, Matt Primus, and Quentin Hull, and Michael Price, and you can have the mic.
G'day, Charlie. Hey, Charlie, it's Jason Ackermanis here, mate. How good is it? You look very excited when you finally got a hang and you stuck it. Isn't that great to still get up on someone?
It's very loud down here.
Oh,
Can you say that again?
What about, you're very excited, so you should be about that hang you took. You'd finally got a ride and just clunk one.
Yeah,
Forgetting about the goals, how good is it to actually take a good mark?
Yeah, 32, so I didn't think I'd take hangers anymore, so thought I'd just have a go and see how we go. So end up getting up and clunking that one.
Yes.
Showed Kyle Loman how to take a hanger, I guess.
Yeah, he's jumping has been off. But is there something wrong with Logan Morris? He just said he still kicked 3 today, but he's got a cork or something? Because he looked like he was sort of limping a bit.
Yeah, corky in the quad there in the first quarter, so it was challenging at times for him. So try to put him deep and just, I guess, try to isolate him there, and still got his looks. So quality player, but obviously with the corky in the first quarter didn't help him, and obviously the heat as well.
Charlie, it's Quentin Hull here. Well done. Milestone games, we get to be a bit reflective. So, firstly, I just want to go back to, the young fella who was playing for the Crows that sort of, through David Noble got the opportunity to come to Brisbane, and look at who you are now. It's been quite the journey.
Yeah, I've obviously 4 years at Adelaide there. I just sort of had the opportunity to come back to Brisbane, move back here, and obviously give myself an opportunity to grow as a player. And thanks to David Noble and Fags and Don Mamorojo to get me up here, and obviously haven't looked back. And I guess to play 200 games for the club and play in 2 flags is pretty special. And fitting enough, I played my 200 game against Port Adelaide in the qualifying final, I think a couple of years ago, so 200 games to the Lions against them again.
So that's all the way back to the start of you as a Lion. Can I take you back even just 12 months ago? We just mentioned it before we knew we were even going to have a chat to you. The faith that Fague showed in you, I want to know about that and the work that you had to do after being in a pretty flat spot through last year by your own standards, and now you're back playing some of your best footy again.
Yeah, obviously having a poor start to 2025, and I knew that I probably had to come back in a better shape, and I guess a different mindset coming into this pre-season, and then I felt like I gave myself the best opportunity to, I guess give myself opportunities going ahead. But thanks to Fags, obviously it was probably a tough year on a personal note, but obviously I guess you learn from those lessons throughout the year. But I took a lot of confidence in the grand final going into the pre-season and obviously the season.
So you mentioned body and mind. So we know that we've spoken to you across the journey. You can be a bit of a deep thinker about your game, but have you worked a bit harder physically, Charlie?
Yeah, I think so. And obviously just the belief and confidence that I can still match it with the best, and still getting old. So obviously still got my speed there. So just, I guess it's all about confidence and belief. And I think I go out there just saying I'm one of the best small forwards. So just having that confidence that I can match with the best and go from there.
And just one more from me. You've seen the evolution of a forward line which started with, you playing underneath Joey Danaher, and you had maybe Link McCarthy helping you out, and now it's so different. I mean, Eric Hipwood's been a key over the years, but we hadn't played a lot this year. What is it that makes this Lions forward line so potent?
I think, we talk about just being selfless group, and it shows that we're looking to, I guess, look for the better options and stuff. But I think for us, it doesn't matter if you have to stop one person and the next person is going to bob up. And we've showed that this year that I think we've had multiple goal kickers each week. So I guess you've got to try and stop one. But felt like we're a damaging forward line when we're doing it together. And we talk about earning the right each week. And a big thanks to Daniel Lloyd, who's our forwards coach, who stepped up this year and has backed us in and let us do our own thing, but as a group. And like I said, it's a very selfless forward line that is damaging.
Charlie, Michael Price, firstly, congratulations not only on your 200th game for the Lions, but on your form this season, which has been sublime. What I've loved as much, if not more, than your forward work, which has always been brilliant, your defensive work this year has gone to another level. Tell us about the role that Fags has got you, especially when you get back deep.
I don't think it's a role. I think it's just doing it for your team.
Yeah.
It's something as a small forward, got to get up and get back. And we talk about squeezing out as a forward line that we want to get out and be a defensive forward line first, and then we can attack in the way. So it's important that we get up the ground, and obviously then we have the space to work back into. So it shows that, and obviously we've got a lot of players playing their role. Conor McKenna each week plays his role. And then you got the tools that are just in a contest and bringing it to ground. So, like I said, it's a very selfless forward line that everyone's doing their job and role, and it makes it a lot easier.
And one to finish with, Charlie. Great to have Charlie Cameron with us from the Victorious Brisbane Rooms. You're a pretty honest bloke when it comes to your own form, but also just the mood of this team. And I think as realists, we can't expect a team like Brisbane, who's had so many long campaigns, to bring the absolute energy every single week. But what's the energy like now, both physically and mentally, that you've got yourself in position to have a real crack again? It has ebbed and flowed a bit, but something's going right again.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of those. I think it's 3 in a row losses that we played against, was it GWS, Geelong, and someone else, I can't remember.
And Freo.
Freo. So I think after that we had a great chat, but obviously Faith talks about just being fearless and bringing new weapons, and that's been our formula over the last few weeks, is just bringing our weapons and being fearless out there. So that's all it come down to, and obviously it's tight at the moment with the ladder at the moment. So 2 losses to, I think it was Adelaide and Melbourne last night. So it's sort of, we're going a game ahead. So trying to get to that, I guess, top 3 or top 4 spot. So yeah.
Well, congratulations on a career day for you. You've had plenty of highlights, but still, to kick 3 and take a hang in your 200th as a line on a sunny day when you win at the Gabba by near on 10 goals, I think you'll remember this one fondly. Thanks for your time.
I appreciate your time, and have a great day, everyone. God bless.
Good on you, Chuckles. Charlie
Chuckles, yes.
Cameron.
Sensational mark. Oh.
Yeah.
Is this his form this year is up there with some of the best form he's ever produced? It's just amazing for a 32-year-old small forward who continues his pace, Acker.
Yeah. Once you lose your pace, you're in trouble. But he has not lost a yard yet, and it's he'll be very happy, because in 5 years he won't be very happy. He'll be retired.
Wait till he gets to my age.
Oh my God, where did that come from? Oh, hamstring, Tom.
Midway through the second term at Dockland, St Kilda has a 10-point lead over North. 5-7-37 to 3-9-27. You can hear it right now if you'd like to on ABC Listen. The majority of you through local radio heading to that game if you are listening on Brisbane News Radio. Of course, ABC Listen as well. You can hear it when we wrap things up here. Kick to kick going on out there as well. It's an absolute picture at the moment. 30,722. The official crowd, 30,722.
Josh Carr's got to make his way there. He's about to come off the ground. It's always dangerous to come from one side to the other.
G'day to Kylie from Daysdale. Hi, guys. Great call. I think Freo and Brizzy will play off in Perth week 1 of the finals. Well, that'll be actually week... Oh, are we going to get in technical areas here? It'll be the second week of the finals. Yes. Well, are we calling the wildcard games finals? I think we are.
Apparently it is.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting... Kylie, that's for sure. We've still got 5 weeks to go. So 4 weeks now. 4 weeks now. Brisbane's run-in is Carlton away, Hawthorn here, Gold Coast here, Collingwood away.
Make one to finish with.
Nice. Yeah.
They'll start favourite in all 4 of those games.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless something happens. G'day to Chris from St Kilda, who texts, Lions repeating the last 2 years, starting slow but looking ominous in the late season once again. Only 4th, but who can beat them on the last Saturday in September when they get going? Well, they've got to get there, Chris, but yeah, it's a good point that you mentioned. Thank you.
Second half of the year after the bye.
0437 774 774. Julie from Brisbane. The A-team commentary in Brisbane this afternoon. Even neutral listeners get great entertainment. That's what we aim for, Julie. Thank you. Very kind. 0437 774 774. Let's go to the flashpoint of the game. Ty Gallop aggressively tackling Mitch Georgiadis in a semi-sling tackle, which probably seemed not too bad until, with Georgiadis face to the ground, Gallop picked up his jersey from the back and then shoved his face into the dirt, having lifted him about 30 centimetres off the ground. Unduly rough conduct charge coming up.
Yeah. There's nothing in the tackle. I don't think that anything was wrong with the tackle, but afterwards.
Afterwards, yeah. No, he's lucky that George Artie's played out the game. Imagine
he's
if he went off with a concussion or something like that, he'd be in big trouble, suspension-wise.
3 or 4 weeks, it was unnecessary. I know you can push and shove and then you get back at each other, but that was a little bit just taking advantage of it and doing it the wrong way.
So let's just quickly have a look at the embarrassment of riches that are going around in the VFL for the Brisbane Lions. So Oscar Allen played his second game in the VFL yesterday. Cody Curtin's playing there. Tom Doedee continues to get games in the VFL. And we know that before his knees, he was a very reliable key defender. Dan Annabelle's around, the exciting young prospect. And then in other parts of the ground, Lincoln McCarthy's back playing VFL footy as well.
Kitty's back?
Kitty Coleman played in the VFL. So anyway, if there is a key position in the back line required, where does Chris Fagan go, considering that in this one area you think, what about Darcy Gardner? No, he's still a couple of weeks away with his hammy.
Yep.
And Jack Payne, I think they've put a line under his season as he can't get his knee right.
Okay.
How about Baywatch?
So do you choose a defender or do you think, Oscar Allen's ready to come back to the team, send him forward and Eric goes back again? Eric Hipwood keeps his spot in the team by playing defence.
Either or. I think you put Oscar back first, wouldn't you? I know Eric's been a good defender and has.
You play Oscar Allen as a defender?
Yep. He played defence a lot last year. Anyway, you can put him up forward. Doesn't really worry me, but he can play back. Depends on the balance. Obviously, Eric's in a bit of. He's running all right, Eric, and he's kicking goals, so he's doing something.
Well, isn't he? Yeah.
What would you do, Matt?
I probably wouldn't have thought Hipwood, but then you reminded me that he went back there and played there a couple of times last year, didn't he?
Hippie.
Hippie. Well, maybe he has a look at a Doedee or something like that, just had an opportunity to have a look at it. He's stringing some games together, and first time for a long time he's been able to be healthy, and I'm not sure what his form's been like in there, but...
You know what I reckon, now just thinking through it, sorry to interrupt, but I think now that you would probably start to look at tape of the Gunston-Lewis combination, the Tracy Amos... Voss combination. I think the next guy picked, if there is to be a guy picked in the back line, it will be, I don't care who we're playing today, I'm picking someone to get used to stopping Hawthorn or Fremantle.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they might have a look at somebody they haven't had a chance of, just to, in case Gardner goes down again or...
Well, Dara Joyce continues to play in the...
22 disposals in the VFL against North Melbourne this week. So Dara Joyce is your classic in case of emergency break glass list person. Doesn't get many games. When he does come in, he plays his role.
So even if the back line doesn't suit what Carlton's going to throw up at him next week, if Gallup is suspended, they'll be picking a back line to try and stop Curnow plus McLean plus Papley.
Fremantle's one too.
Fremantle's, three-headed monster, so they'll be looking basically at. I forget who we're playing. I'm going to try and work out who our back six are against the other three teams in the top four.
That's not a bad idea.
Quentin Hull, Michael Price, Jason Ackermanis and Matt Primus sifting through Brisbane's 59-point victory over Port. The Power stuck with the Lions for the first half. It was a 9-point lead at halftime, but then 14 goals to 5 after halftime for Brisbane to win 19-12, 126 to Port's 9-13, 67. Stats and votes in a moment. Just check at Docklands. What have we got? St Kilda still 10 points in front. A low-scoring one there. 5-8 to 3-10. St Kilda 5-8-38. North Melbourne 3-10-28. The context there, Saints win, they go into 10th. And will be a game ahead of North Melbourne and Carlton.
And North Melbourne have kicked 3-9 out of that 3-10 from set shots.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's been some sitters, Pricey. And Jack Darling's got one now to...
Yeah, he's having a...
30 out, anyhow.
A shot. You've given the tease on that, so we'd better wait for the result before I get into the stats. Matty from the Swan Valley text, by the way, says Brisbane looking scary. Please tell them to go away. It's our turn at Freo! ! Exclamation mark.
I was going to give it to you.
Darling's kicked that goal, by the way. So 4-10-34, trails 5-8-38.
It'd be great if North win. That makes that wild card chase just going to come.
I reckon it'd be great, Matt, if they win by less than a goal and Carlton stays 10th at the end of the round on percentage. Okay, stats here. Zorko, 34, leads all comers for most possessions. Dane Zorko for Brisbane. Will Ashcroft with 30. Hugh McCluggage, 29. One of his better games. Jasper Fletcher, 27. Zach Bailey, 26. And just looking at 12 score involvements for Will Ashcroft in his 30 possessions. 7 for Zork as well. And clearances. 5 for Ashcroft, 5 for McCluggage. Lockie Neal had 24 touches, by the way, 5 clearances and 6 score involvements. Jason Horne-Francis was the best individually as far as the numbers for Port. He had 30, 7 clearances, 6 inside 50s, 9 score involvements.
That's unbelievable.
For a guy who's still 2 games away from playing 100 in the AFL. He is going to be some player. Ollie Wines, 23, Jace Burgoyne, 22, Miles Bergman, 20, and young Jack Watkins, the inexperienced Jack Watkins with 20 possessions. Overall, Brisbane had it nearly 100 more times, disposal-wise, 413 to 322. Quick maths, 91 more. 91 more disposals for Brisbane. Contested possessions, Port won that, +2. 123 to 121. Marks, Brisbane's keeping off again, +59. At 133 to 74.
Blew out in that second.
Yeah, they just do that, don't they? Clearances, not much in it. Brisbane +2. Out of the centre bounce, it was 13 all in the end. Inside 50s in the end, Brisbane had it inside 50 18 more times. So 59 the margin. Who's on votes duty
Big
today?
fella's on votes this time. It did the votes last time. It was
well, his parents are here. They've enjoyed the game, so we might as well give Matt all the responsibility to show his folks that he's all grown up and he can do the votes for himself.
Yes, right. I gave 1 vote to Horne-Francis. I thought he was amazing all day, just inside and outside, and class. 7 clearances, 9 score involvements, 4 centre bounce clearances, high contested possession. So 1 to him. I gave 2 to McCluggage, bouncing back into some great form.
Big cases.
Yeah, hitting the scoreboard. Clearances, his meet his gain stuff. That's when he's up and going. That's what he does really well. Carries the ball. And I thought biggest impact on the game was Will Ashcroft. I thought 12 score involvements, 6 inside 50s, 5 clearances, 2 goals, 1 to go with hhis possessions too. And I thought from first quarter to the end of the quarter, he had the biggest influence on the game.
He kicked the ball a lot more today. Sometimes he gets stuck about 50-50, but
right.
No, 12 and the most score involvements, like you said, by a bit.
Yep.
By 3, that is some game.
3 to Will Ashcroft, 2 to McCluggage, 1 to Horne-Francis. And just, sort of, without looking at the numbers, just seeing Will around the contest today, there had been a lot left to Lockie Neal of recent times to generate from stoppage, but Will was at his, it would either be the deftness of that skill that he has. He goes in those 2 gears. He can explode, or sometimes he does the quickest. The way he gets ball to hand and his handball. Like, have you ever seen you played with some good midfielders, Jace?
Very good.
The way he's quick.
Yeah, he's got super hands, and he doesn't waste possession. A lot of possessions. He very rarely gets caught, and he breaks tackles. But today he was supreme. He was there all game and did everything. You're very happy with him if you're Fakes.
Damien texts from Fremantle, 0437 774 774. I'm interested in your feedback on a comment made by Josh Tracy from Freo on ABC Radio in Perth a couple of weeks ago. He was asked about the lack of injuries, and he put it down to 2 new conditioning coaches that they have. They've come from English rugby. Just wondering what your thoughts are on that, because if that's the case, will everybody be going and seeking rugby conditioning coaches?
It's hard to say.
Thank you to Damien from Fremantle.
Yeah, we don't see their program, so we don't know what they've tweaked and how different it is. And just because they're rugby, they're conditioning guys. They're actually...
I think it's rugby union, not as in rugby.
Doesn't
not
really
league.
matter. They come from league, union, soccer. I mean, they can cross over. That's the thing about conditioning.
They went hard on size, putting on size. They thought they were too small, and finals they got blown away. Mainly they're midfielders, but also half-backs, half-forwards, so they went big on size. But I think it just goes ebbs and flows. They have a great run for it. Brisbane historically have been one of the most healthiest clubs going around. They were getting guys up here, the guys who couldn't play at other clubs and be injured all the time, they come up here and are able to string games together. So, but if it becomes a trend, it might be something. In a couple of years' time, if they continue to be healthy as Fremantle, then people might do it. But I think you've got to wait a bit longer than a year.
They're just doing a good job.
They are powerful when you watch Fremantle play.
Yeah, very strong.
Well, have you experienced, Matt, you're still a coach, and Jace, you still do your bit, and, what other sports can bring to Australian football, because it's such a 360-degree game, whether it be running, jumping, strength, skill, kicking. There's a lot of areas that make up the footballer of 2026.
Well, obviously,
just thinking from that rugby perspective, it'd be I reckon it'd be a lot of big core strength and a lot of running strength.
Yeah, a lot of power, wrestling,
hips and thighs and drive and that type of stuff.
They were big on that. They weren't strong around stoppages. So you think about the ability to drive through tackles and drive out of tackles, and that's what they've become really good at now. So it depends where you're at in your evolution, whether it's a running thing or Fremantle go, okay, we're at the top of the tree but not quite there, and they want to improve on that, and that's certainly come through in their game this year.
Well, and of course, again, I'll drop a little bit of a Riverina reference here. Back when the Sydney Swans took a part of the city's DNA, when Paul Kelly would tackle, because he basically he wanted to be a better rugby league player until he got later into his teens. I'm speaking of the former number 14 Sydney captain and Brownlow medalist, and he was a ferocious tackler, and that sort of helped the Swans think, hold on, we're in a rugby league town. Let's make tackling a part of our DNA. And because Kel came from a league background. Yeah.
I don't know. Conditioning, you tend to think that it means they're running better, but it's not that. It's that, like Matty said, they're stronger, so they're getting across the ground quicker. You've got 5 in the interchange, and they are better around every part of it. Then they're stronger in the air, they're stronger on the ground, stronger in stoppage.
And also, people from other sports, they just bring ideas that you don't think about. I remember when I was at Port Adelaide, we had Darren Burgess, and then he went over and worked with the Socceroos, and then worked at Liverpool and Arsenal, and then came back, and his philosophy was AFL players can train more. It used to be always recovery, but he saw soccer players. I know it's not as contested as AFL, but it was, they play a game in Europe, they come back and play another one, and their ability for players to absorb and spend. All of a sudden, Port became a really fit team under Ken Hinkley, and then teams started copying the workload there. So it's the ideas you bring from other sports is one aspect of why you go looking for people from other areas.
And good segue to take a moment or two to just tell Port fans, Matt and Jace, what you think they can get out of the last month of the season, which looks like this. They play the Giants at Adelaide Oval. I'm going to start by saying that's one where they're going to... Should they hope or expect a win there?
Oh, the way they go, but they expect. I don't think the Giants are going.
I don't know whether you can say anything too certain about the Giants, but
Jekyll and Hyde.
Take them out of it. If you're a Port fan, I reckon you go to the Adelaide Oval expecting to win next week.
Absolutely.
Sydney at the SCG, tough. Good. Melbourne at Adelaide Oval, and Essendon at Docklands to finish. So completing that for Port. Giants at home, Sydney away, Melbourne at home, Bombers away. They're 6 and 13. Wow. And today was the worst result of the year for them. Previous to that, a 46-point loss to North Melbourne in their opening game of the season was their worst. So that makes it now 7 of the 13 losses have been by 14 points or less. But today's 59-pointer is the outrider as far as margins.
I think it as good as they have been hanging in games and defensively, if you're not winning, to keep playing that way, you don't get a result. Playing that way, you don't get a result. I don't know how many they've lost in a row now, whatever it is, but you need that nourishment.
Only 3 in a row.
3 in a row, okay. You need that nourishment to win, and you just keep battling. It's hard to keep playing that way all the time without getting a win. So this game was probably, against a top team, was probably on the cards.
The one thing I don't think is going to happen, I don't think they're just going to blow up in the last month.
No.
And that's one thing I think that we've,
It's a line hard.
Yeah, you can see some teams that can't make finals, and they absolutely wither away.
All away, yeah. They aren't falling away, and then they've got reasons too. They're playing a hell of a lot of kids in that team, and 2 of their best players are out for the year, but they've got opportunities too. But as we saw today, for a half, they went toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the competition. So, yeah, they're a chance to win 2 of their last 4. Absolutely, Q.
We've got to half-time at Docklands, and St Kilda leads by 4 points there. Repeating, the majority of you listening through local radio will be heading to that game shortly. St Kilda 5-8-38, North Melbourne 4-10-34. For the Saints, all single goal kickers. Burns, Caminiti, Owens, Higgins and Boxall. Repeating, Caminiti came in. I think they'd ran through the banner when Rowan Marshall realised I tweaked my back in the pre-game. I can't play.
They showed some stuff. He was doing ground balls just before the bounce of the ball, and Ross was out on the ground watching him, and he did a couple and just said, "No, I can't bend over," and off they went.
So Marshall,
unbelievable,
basically scratched at the barrier, to use racing parlance.
Has King found the ball, Q?
Twice.
Twice, okay.
They were just looking on Max King watch.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
had the 2 disposals. He's had 2 kicks and 1 mark.
Okay.
Yep, and then the other was Cooper Sharman withdrawn for Dan Butler. No changes for North. Whitlock, Curtis, Sheasel, Darling. All single goal kickers for the Kangas.
Naz has had 24 disposals before half-time and over 500 metres gained before half-time.
20 kicks, 4 handballs, 4
someone on it,
contested
I reckon.
possessions, 3 clearances, 3 inside 50s, 3 score involved.
He's got to crack 50 before the year's out.
Surely Clarko's going to tighten him down. You know, they're in the game, and he's had that impact on it. So,
Jason Ackermanis, I've got 4 minutes before we go to the next game. So, just your experiences of being, the 2-time premiers, getting ready to front up again. They're in the top 4 now, Brisbane. So, I mean, there is each week which takes care of itself and needs its diligence. But how does this month look for a premier team with pressure on selection and another, you're beyond base camp and the summit's inside again?
Yes. I don't think this is the best time of year. You know where the finish line, you're coming into it, forgetting the new format, that being this is the first year of it. But outside of that, all the boys playing well. They're all confident. They've got goal kickers everywhere. They've got a midfield that's dominating, a defence that's just been superb. And they were down. They were down for a bit. Don't get me wrong, before the bye. They had a couple of really hard weeks. Now you got Zorgo back, and of course their good players are coming back playing well, and they've got good players to come in. This is exciting. If you're a player and you're playing again for another flag and you're going potentially into your 4th grand final or your final series where you can get right up there, this is the best part of the year. There's nothing other than this that you want to be in footy in. It would be exciting to be a part of it again, no matter your age, no matter how many flags you've won. It's just good to be here.
Matt, we've been here for many years watching this footy team. We saw Oscar Allen get recruited. We haven't seen a lot of him. No. We've seen Sam Draper and a bit of him. We thought, well, gee, they're going to be better again than last year. Are the Lions of 26 a better version of themselves than of 12 months ago?
That's a good question. I don't think right now. I still think they've got another gear to go to. But, McCluggage back into some form, hadn't been in any form all year. So, yeah, I think by the end of this home and away season, they'll be in better form than what they were heading into last year's final series.
And it's amazing to think how some clubs can have rumour about key players sort of become the noise which distracts them. We basically are 99% sure that Lachie Neale's not going to be at the club.
Yeah.
Yet a champion and 2-time Brownlow medalist has played amazingly this year, having had a very public family breakdown. And in the summer, we thought, they're going to fall off the cliff now. Look at all this. Yeah. What an extraordinary player, Lachie Neale, and footy club to get to the point. It's like, come on, let's just let our footy do the talking.
I think they would have been screaming out for the footy season to start, wouldn't they? So that'd take up. But absolutely, it's just so well handled, all that aspect of that. What he's going through and where he's going to be, how they're handling that, it's a credit to them. And then they're staying laser focused on trying to win another flag with all those other distractions. You can see what it can do to other clubs, but this club here, it doesnesn't bother them at all.
You saw last year, they lost Archie and Starcevich. Everyone knew that they were going and where they were going, and they went. And they loved them the whole way through and still do. But, that's the mark of the club. The culture is there. It's a good club to be at. When you finish, you go, that's fine. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for your time, Jason.
No problem. Thanks for having me. We'll see you 2 weeks. I think we've got. Look, that'll be a great game at the Gabba.
Yeah, Hawthorn's the next home game.
Friday night. Is it?
Friday night.
Are you with me next Sunday? Carrara,
Suns.
Gold Coast versus Melbourne.
I'm filling in that one, Amy.
Oh, yes, you are too. We'll see you both.
On the bike, mate.
Next Sunday. Watch out. Motorbikes on the M1 next Sunday. Michael Price, thank you.
Cheers.
Zane Bozak, Thanks, mate. He's back from the rooms. Branko on the faders here and Aaron back in the studio. So Brisbane has won this one by 59 points. 3 votes to Will Ashcroft, 2 to Hugh McCluggage, 1 to Jason Horne-Francis. If you're on News Radio, you're going back to local network now. But go to the app and you can hear the call of North and St Kilda, which has the Saints leading by 4 points at half-time. In the NRL today, Gold Coast beat St George 38-18. 25 minutes in, Cronulla 12 lead Manly 4. Brisbane's won this one.